Hey guys, what is going on this fine Sunday evening here and this particularly very wet and very rainy week here in Florida? Finally, we're getting some rain. That's why I didn't get any videos out for you guys, so to apologize, but we had thunderstorms and all kinds of stuff the last couple of days, so just didn't do anything. But I wanted to go ahead and at least put that out for you guys. So whenever you guys watch this later, why is Acc0rd not putting out anything? Well, that's just generally why. So for anybody who watches this later, we just had a heck of a lot of rain, and I'm talking dumped on rain. We needed it here really bad in Florida. I haven't seen rain in like 2 or 3 months, so it's been good that we're getting the rain. However, when you get it 3 or 4 days on and off in a row, and it's either windy or then you get some rain and it come back again, it's not a good time to make some videos. But that's generally what I've been doing, other than work like normal. So, yeah, that's what's going on. You can see I got a little, my hair is getting so long. I'm just starting to spike it up now and just push it into like a faux hawk because I'm like, what else am I gonna do? I'm like literally a week away from taking the whole buzzer and just doing this to my head because I just don't even care anymore. It's getting out of control. So I'm sure a lot of you all are feeling the same way I am. At least there's some states opening up. I'm like, told my wife, I said, we should go rent a plane, fly up to Georgia next week, and go get our haircuts because this is out of control. I can't handle this anymore. So she laughed about that. Hey guys, how you doing? Dalton. Let's write me on 10 different things. Dalton. What's going on, Mitchell? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, so basically, just been kind of hanging out. I mean, this whole week's been one of those kind of things. I've been working more hours to make up for her paycheck that she's not actually working a lot at the doctor's office. Just kind of just doing that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like taking care of the house. We've been cleaning more of the house, which has been really nice. And that's generally about it. Honestly, I can't believe Friday is going to be the first. So I do want to get some more videos out, but it just never worked out. And I do apologize. But that, thanks God, that's again why I only do this as a hobby. So that way, whenever I feel like it, I'll make a video. But it's been either rainy, very windy, very cloudy all week, so I just didn't get anything out for you guys like I really wanted to. So there you go. You live in Georgia? Yes. I wish. I'm so jealous, Tyler. You have no idea. I wish I was in Georgia right now. Can get this little mop of the haircut cleaned up because normally I never have my hair long. It's been short since about 2000. I think is the last time I actually had it really long. I used to have like a surfer's cut back in the 90s. You know, come down to here and stuff, and that was the way it was, and I just cut it really short and left it short all these years. So it's been like what, 20 years now since the last time I had it really long. It'd be nice if it was open. I just used to touchless sealant 303. Yes, it's a very good product, very good here in Mitchell. You can expect a couple months out of it, maybe 2 to 3 months solid before it really starts to wear off. But hey, what do you expect for just a quick spray on stuff? And that's if we're gonna go into the spray on side, I would recommend somewhere like even a Turtle Wax, the ceramic spray stuff is stellar. The Mother CMX is stellar. Both of those have just the longevity beats anything out there on the market now. But the 303 sealant is really good, super easy to use. I had no streak, no issues or anything like that. I highly recommend it too, buddy. I went through the whole bottle that I had, like the bottle they originally sent me for testing. I went through that bottle in like a couple months because I was using it on different cars, just doing a quick spray on. By the way, it is like, I have the garage door open. It feels great tonight. It's only like 70, so it feels good right now. It's breezy, it's windy, so it's coming in the garage. I'm loving it. I've got the garage door wide open. I don't know if you guys can see this really good here. So you can see how everything's stacked up right now. The white car is obviously right behind the GTR. The motorcycle is right there. The van is somewhere. It's over there. And then the Civic Type R is back there. And then the white blue Prelude is in the front. But yeah, we got kind of a busy house here. But it feels great. And that's one thing I did. I was kind of mad I didn't get a video out for you guys. And I could have made it, but it would have been shadowy and cloudy. And it would have just been like crap with all the wind. And I was like, yeah, no, nah. But then again, it keeps the temperature down. And it's been getting in the 90s. So I'm okay with that. Hair's longer than that, Dalton. I'm telling you right now, buddy. Normally I don't know about you guys, but more personally, I do like a 1 guard here on the side, and I do a 3 on the top and just blend it over here on the side. And I'm thinking about just getting like a 2 guard and just straight up buzzing the whole damn thing right now just to get rid of it. I don't know how much longer I want to go with it like this, you know what I mean? I don't want to have to start combing it over like I was in, elementary school again where I'm combing it over. I just don't want to deal with that. What's going on, Adam? Hey, buddy, how's it going? Scott, what you been doing? Oh, funny thing is, I was going to mention about the Turtle Wax commercial. I have so many real life people that I know that I haven't talked to in a very long time. They're all coming out of the woodwork. Like, dude, you're in a commercial? I'm like, yeah, that was me. And they're like, holy cow, I thought it was you. That's nuts. I had 2 people this week alone write me and said, and people like my mom's friends that don't even live here in Florida. They live in North Carolina. I haven't seen her in probably 30 years. And they come out, they're like, you were in a TV commercial, weren't you? And I'm like, yeah, that was me. And they're like, holy cow. So it's been really fun, I mean, when Turtle Wax came to me and they emailed me and said, hey, we're putting a bunch of YouTubers up on our YouTube channel. Can we use it? And if so, then we have to have a contract written up for you so you can use the, the whatever it is to do it. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. And then when it turned out to be that it was going to be like this big, I thought it was just going to be like a little Facebook kind of thing, like an ad kind of thing. And I was like, no big deal. And they're like, oh, we're turning it into a full on TV commercial. And I was like, really? They're like, yeah, you're going to be on TV. And I'm like, oh, cool. So it was really cool of them to think of me like that. How you been doing, Ken? What you doing, buddy? Hey, Chad, tune in. I absolutely love videos. Thanks so much, Zach. I appreciate you stopping by. Hey, OSVE. Give the wife a buzz cut. Yeah, no. Chad, I saw a commercial on Turtle Wax. Dude, I'm telling you, I get so many stuff. That's what I was just saying. That, like, again, I don't ask for the stuff. I didn't ask to be sent out to Arizona and put up in these fancy hotels and stuff. It's the best blessing, the best surprise that you can ever have when somebody reaches out to you and says, hey, this is what's going on. Would you be interested in it's on our dime. Or like, hey, can we use your videos in our stuff? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I don't care. And they're like, no. We have to actually have your written permission if we do this. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Just send me the contract. And then they had like different companies writing me that handled the contract and stuff. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then before you knew it, you're going to be on TV. And I'm like, what? Okay. And, so it's been a wild ride, especially for somebody who takes this as I don't want to say I mess around with it or like take it lightly, but YouTube has always been just a hangout game for me, and I never wanted to do it as a job. You know what I mean? So it's so cool that, hey, look where it's at now. And what I started back in the day, just putting out some videos of my thoughts on a couple of these products, and I tried them out, turned into that. Now, hey, I'm on national TV. That's just wild. I love it. Driving school in a couple weeks, man. If you can, let's put it that way. I bought a Turtle Wax ceramic spray and wax and haven't tried it yet. You'll love it, man. You'll love it. Scott, they do pay. I won't tell you how much they do pay because, of course, you had to use their rights in order to use it. A couple of years ago, I'll tell you, it happened. One of these like morning shows or whatever used my video without my permission. And it was one of these huge YouTube channels. I don't know what it is. Anyways, they do all this kind of live stream on it. And I wrote them and I'm like, look, you never had my rights to actually use my video. And they contacted me and they said, we're going to have our people contact you. We're going to pay you for your time and all this stuff. And I said, I want this much money because you used it without it. And if not, I'm going to go ahead and contact a lawyer. And then, you're making money essentially off my videos. And that's when they said like, oh, well, we'll pay. We'll pay. But they were like, we only want to give you a couple $100s. I'm like, but you just used my whole video. So I was like, I know you're way bigger than that. So that's when everything just went downhill. Because I'm like, why would you take my stuff without permission? Then you're putting it out for everybody to see. But yeah, Turtle Wax, they compensate you for using it. And basically it was like, hey, essentially, you letting us use it. Can we use it? And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. And then they came out later and were like, oh, we're going to give you money for it. I'm like, what? Because I never asked for anything. I didn't ask for it. They just said, can we use it, Chad? And I said, sure, you can use whatever you want. So everybody, I guess, got paid. I don't know. I didn't ask for the money. They just said, no, it's part of the agreement. We were going to do it anyways. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So I just took the money and put it in the savings account. I didn't touch it or anything. And now I'm just like, especially now in the rainy day, that works out. How are you doing with the quarantine? I still work every day, man, just like everybody else does. Monday through Friday, I'm at the big company. I'm working. I don't even think anything of it, honestly. You know me by now. Nothing affects me. Let's put it that way. As the numbers come out, more and more people are tested. They have the antibodies, which means they've already had it, but yet they weren't in lockdown. That's the kind of stuff that tells you it's kind of probably over the top, way too much. So I just take it as in stride, and I don't care. I just want to see the people who get their jobs back. And I want to see things get back to normal as soon as possible. Like within the next week or two, I want to see Florida opened up, especially since Georgia, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas is talking about it. It's like, bring Florida. You need to be like the next state then. Chemical Guys is better than Mcguire's in your opinion? No, not even close. So Chemical Guys, from what I understood, I'm not that OG of things. Chemical Guys, I heard a long time ago, they used to be really, really good. And then they decided, well, we got to keep pumping out products and keep pumping out products. So once their name got pretty big, they kind of like cheapened down their quality, and it kind of went downhill from there. But that's hearsay. I don't know. I never really dealt with them years and years and years ago. I didn't probably start buying some Chemical Guys products until like the last 4 years. They have a couple great products, like Seal and Shine is really good. That's the sealant they have. I put it on GTR. It lasted a long time. That's pretty good. Their butter wet wax is really easy to apply, really easy to remove. Don't expect more than 2 to 3 months max out of that, though. Their car soaps are really good as a means of in the foam cannon, and the 2-bucket regular washment method, they're pretty watered down, so just heads up there. What else is pretty good on their stuff that I've used? I've used their microfiber cleaner, no issues with that. What else have I used? Their Diablo wheel gel, I've used a bunch of that stuff. Maybe it doesn't foam up or do anything red, but it seems to help out a little bit anyways. I like their detailer sprays. I've never had an issue with their detailer sprays whatsoever. Didn't like their waterless wash. The green bottle Eco one was pretty crappy. Way too watered down. But the one that came in the blue bottle you could buy at Walmart, that was a lot better. So that's the way it goes. I don't know if Acc0rd have ceramic wet wax, ceramic spray. It is. So what I understood it as, Mitchell, when they were talking to us about it when we went out to Arizona, was that it was meant for, the guys that just want a quick touch up to their wax job, and they want to give a boost in their protection, maybe some beading, and then versus having the entire car dried off and then going back and spraying it down. You just hit it up really quick with the wet spray wax while the car is still wet, and then just bring out your big old towel or whatever you dry it with and dry it off there. So you're getting the protection and you're just drying it off at the same time as it helps repel the water when you spray it on. So that's basically, I think, what it was geared for the really quick stuff, not for the whole, let's get the whole damn thing dried. Now let's come out, hit it with the spray thing and have to wipe it down all over again. And you basically knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. And I understand where you're coming with that, Mitchell. What is this 10% battery power low? What? Wonder what it's connected to. I don't know. I have no idea what my phone's connected to. It's really crazy. Dalton, it's got to be in the contract. I would never say Dalton because it is in their contract, and I do not want to violate any contracts. I mean, for all I know, they don't want me even talking about it. But I know what they did is they came out and said, "Look, we're gonna use your stuff. Is that okay?" And the first thing I wrote back was like, "Yeah, you can use whatever you want. I don't care." Because you give me all the free products, so whatever you want to use. And then they said, hey, we're going to have one of our people contact you. And that's kind of the way it went down. And then they said, oh, we're going to give you some money for usage rights. And I was like, you don't have to, but whatever, And that's kind of the way it was. I've never been a money hungry person. I don't really care. As long as the bills are paid and we get to have some extra money for fun stuff like cruising and stuff like that. You guys know I cruise. I don't really ask for much. I work for my stuff like my GTR and stuff. I've already paid it off. I've had all my motorcycles, cars. I think the next step is to... obviously, as you know, guys, buy a plane as soon as all this drama's gone. But, other than that, I mean, once I'm an airline pilot, I'd probably just start saving money for a second house, like a vacation house out west in the mountains. And that's generally about it. What's going on, AJG? How you doing, man? What's your job at the shipping company? I move and drive all the trucks around the building. I gas them up, fuel them up, wash them up. Basically, get them ready for tomorrow is all I'm doing. Because I don't go in until the evening because I watch my son, obviously, during the day. Well, when he's in school, I drop him off in the morning. I pick him up in the evening. Sometimes I go to flight school after that, depending on how much I do it. So I'll go to flight school right afterwards. Dropping my son off in the morning, I'll go to Kissimmee Airport and go do my flight lessons. As a matter of fact, I finished my online ground school, and I passed they have practice exams for the online ground school. So I can now actually go and take the written exam, but I don't feel confident enough that I would get a high enough grade, so I decided, nah, I'm just going to wait on it. Has you done anything to the Jeep? Actually, the only thing it has on it right now is the exhaust. It's going to be for sale here, so I'm not really worried about it. Dalton, $10. Thank you so much. Yeah, I saw the video. I saw this thing, man. What I've been doing, Dalton, is basically just trying to get through all the products that I have here on hand first. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what, guys. After I got done talking with you guys, I think it was on last Sunday or last Monday. It was one of the two. I got done talking with you guys. I decided to have a little bit of fun here with the minivan because why not? It's in the garage. It's clean. So I wiped it down. I took some detail. I wiped it down. And I went ahead and I went through a lot of the van with the actual Mcguire's liquid ceramic wax just because I was like, you know what? So I wanted to see, maybe down the road we can see which lasts longer, this or the actual, Turtle Wax Black spray wax. So I went through it. That stuff is this stuff here, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. The Mcguire ceramic wax. Super easy to apply, super easy to remove. I'm sure a lot of you guys by now have actually used it by now. I don't know how long it's going to last. The van has been in the garage the whole time. I haven't taken it out because I know she's coming home in a week. So I'm just kind of like babysitting her van. I haven't taken it out. I told her I haven't driven it anywhere, nothing. And she's like, oh, no, you can use whatever you need. I said, no. I said, I told you I'm going to baby this thing. And I'm going to take care of it. So it's going to stay in the garage. And I showed it to her on a picture. So, but she said she's going to be back from Chicago in, I think, a week from now. How do you clean your microfibers? As long as, okay, so I put it on gentle and I put it on high heat. just like the tags say, it kind of loosens up all the dirt and debris. And then for the high water, hot water anyways, I usually use it a microfiber cleaner. Like this last time I used the Grio's garage cleaner. It's in the house right now. I won't get it right now. But I have that. I've tried Masterson's and I've tried the Chemical Guys version. I just measure out whatever it says per ounces for it. And then you just do it on low heat tumble dry for the actual dry. Do not dry the microfiber towels on high heat because it'll actually hurt the little fingers, the microfiber itself. And you don't want to burn them together and kind of singe them together. So just do it on really low heat, just tumble dry. That's basically all you have to do. It's really easy. I just did all mine last week. Hey Adam, how you doing, buddy? OSV, what is the best wax in your opinion? Do you recommend a ceramic coat or only wax? No, you're fine. If you want the best of the best, you want to get a true ceramic coat. It's worth its weight in gold. A true ceramic, the package is about 50 to 60 bucks, and you're going to be doing a lot of paint correction to make sure it's 100% perfect. But once you put it on there and you put 2 layers on there, what they'll recommend is to put it on 1 layer and then like wait an hour or 2 and then put a second layer on there and just you'll be done. They said literally it'll last you 5 years or longer. If it's a garage queen that you're only driving it once in a while to work and then you're putting it back in the garage, it could last 10 years or more. That's the good thing about ceramic, especially with 2 layers. Last year during the bug season, like love bugs in here in Florida are just now coming out. Those are those demon bugs that everybody hates. The front bumper, the bugs couldn't even stick to it. It was really wild. So the blue Civic Type R has ceramic coating in all the hard areas, like your bumpers, your mirrors, your A-pillars, the roof is covered, the wing is covered, the whole back bumper is ceramic coated. So that way, it's not going to be in the video anyway. So why not? But I wanted to go ahead and protect it as best I could. The bugs couldn't even stick to it. It's really, really cool. I love this stuff, But if you just want a regular stuff, then just go with a spray sealant, spray ceramic wax. They're not true ceramics, but you get the idea. Hey, buddy, how you been doing, man? Father-in-law and grounded for 7 weeks. Dang! No, I haven't been flying any right now, Brian. I've probably flew about 2 weeks ago. The last 2 weekends, I don't know I know you're up in Fort Walton, I think, or somewhere up there. It's breezy down here right now, and it was raining bad yesterday. It rained some today in here in Kissimmee. Bad thunderstorms on Friday, real bad. So it's been on and off raining here, so I haven't been flying at all. It's been bad. I need to go fly. Found your other channel. Didn't know you had another one. Pool screen. Oh yeah. That's the personal one I'll use for personal stuff like YouTube. Like I'll go on cruises. I just show stuff like that. That channel used to be what they called monetized. How you can get money or whatever, and they demonetized it because didn't have. When they changed the requirements like a year or two, and I'm like, what's the difference? I have tons of views on some of those cruise videos, just walking around the cabin because people wanted to see what the cabins were like. So every time I went on a cruise, I would just record the cabins and show what the cruise cabins were like. And you might make a couple dollars off each one of those videos. Not a lot, but hey, you know what? In the end, it might be something. You might make, 30, 40 bucks off that channel. Well, they ended up demonetizing it all, which kind of pissed me off about that because they didn't have 1,000 subscribers. That channel was never meant for anything more, just to show off stuff. Most people that want to look at the reviews of what the cabins and stuff look like or what's going on with daily life, they're not going to subscribe to that channel. They're just going to hang out. Did you ever try dry scuds for AC? No, I have not. I actually have some window glass coating right here. I just haven't even put it on. I know it's been really bad, but I've been really procrastinating. See right here, CarPro Forte. So this is a true ceramic, guys, for anybody who knows. This is kind of what it comes in. It's going to come in an itty bitty bottle here, and this is a true ceramic, which means it's going to last you for years and years and years and years. A little bit more complicated to apply than just like a spray on wax, but nothing that I wouldn't trust any of you all with, and that's the truth. It's really, really, really easy to apply stuff. It's all about the prep work when it comes time to it. Let me get the bottle open, or at least show you what their bottle looks like. So this is it. This is what a true ceramic is going to look like. Now this is a little bit different because it's got a little cone top on it. It's like an applicator thing. But this is basically what a true ceramic is going to look like. It just comes in these itty bitty bottles, and let's say this was for your regular car paint, it'd be about 50, 60 bucks for this if it was full, like brand new. But again, 50, 60 bucks, you do it once every 5 years or even longer if it's inside. That to me is a lot better, you know what I mean? So that's what it's kind of meant for. Why are you going to replace GTR? Ashley, the only reason I would get rid of it is because I'm now a newly minted pilot as of February. My dream is to actually change jobs in the next 3 years. Well, who knows what's going to happen now, but go airline pilot. And in doing so, you have to have 1,500 flight hours under your belt, like experience-wise, 1,500 hours flown. And there's only basically 2 ways you can do it, maybe 3 ways. The basic way is you could rent a plane, which is what gets ridiculously expensive. It normally charges me about $125 to $130 per hour with gasoline included. So you can do the math real quick. It's not really feasible to keep renting it for that much. Another way you could do is be an instructor. As an instructor, as long as you're sitting next to the student and you kind of show them, here, this is how this maneuver is done, and then they fly some more. Well, you count all the time, just like the student counts all the time that you've flown. That's what most people do. Other people, what they do is they buy just a cheaper 2-seat airplane, maybe a little tiny light 4-seat airplane. And essentially what they'll do is they'll invest 40 grand in that versus constantly running. And then they'll just essentially build their hours in that while they're trying to get to it. And that's basically what I wanted to do. I didn't want to take another loan for a plane of all things. I already have my Civic Type R payment every month, but I didn't want to take any more loans. I'm at that point now in my life where I'm just like, loans are kind of annoying. And I figured if I sell the GTR, that's a lot of cash I can put down and get a very nice quality used airplane for. So it'll be an older one, but it'll be at that much money that I would be able to put down now would be enough to really have a plane that could last me another 20 years. You know what I mean? Did you use a Turtle Wax black ceramic spray on the van? So what I did, Camp, the whole van was actually covered with the black stuff. And that's what I made the video for. You guys already seen that review video. Then what I did is I decided I was just playing around the stuff, and I was just whipped out that Mcguire ceramic. I went over the hood, and I went over the front fenders with it to actually kind of see, like I went over this, like down here, the whole front of the van, just to get an idea of how easy it was to apply with the Mcguires. And it really is. It's really generally easy to apply. Longevity, I have no idea how long, but I really wanted to just, kind of play around and see, is it easy to apply, easy to remove? Stuff like that for my own just testing needs, because I was like, well, the van's in here. Why not go ahead and just add even more layers of protection onto it? So that's basically what I did. The other van does not have anything on it. That has been the plan the last 2 weekends. The last 2 weekends has been very rainy. Like this week was very rainy. Oh, I don't think I saw the sun, but maybe one day this whole week. Every day was either cloudy and windy or rainy. So I didn't get to see it. And so I didn't get to actually have it because I was like, okay, last week I'm like, okay, I'll work on her van. Oh, it's raining. This week I'll work on her van. It rained both days. And of course, tomorrow is supposed to be 85 degrees and perfectly blue skies, no chance of rain. And of course, that's when on Monday, when of course she needs the vehicle and she has to go back to work. So it's kind of like, I'm stuck. That's how it goes. How often do I take care of it? So basically I take care of my wife's van once every month or so. I will actually really get in there and clean it good. Maybe add some spray stuff to it on the outside. Right now, I actually haven't been adding any spray stuff because I kind of wanted to actually use it as a test bed for the Mcguire ceramic, so that way we could see a good longevity of it, because that's what I used on the spray ceramic crap that they had that only lasted me like a month. It was terrible quality product, and because it doesn't park inside. We're in Florida where it's hot. How long will it live in the real world? I know a lot of these other YouTubers, they'll get a test panel and they'll just keep washing it over and over and over or whatever. To me, that is one way you can test it, but me, I want to know real world, how long it's going to last. And by me putting it on a vehicle that's outside right now in the sun, we know that, hey, if we just leave it out there and we just treat it like normal, a wash once in a while, we'll know how long it really lasts in the real world, not a synthetic environment. And that's the kind of way I wanted to see it. Yeah, Philip, you have been a while, man. What are we saying? Artist, Mcguire's Fast Finish. I loved that stuff. I know it's hard to find, but I loved that stuff. It's like an aerosol sealant for anybody who doesn't know. The Fast Finish came in like an aerosol can. You just sprayed it on and wiped it. Oh, it was lovely. It was very good, and it lasted for a long time. I highly recommend it. It's a lot harder to get now, but you can still buy it if you can. Have you ever got around ceramic coating your wheels for the Type R? No, I haven't. I haven't done much of anything. So as you guys know, last year is when I really had to slow down on the YouTube, because I'll tell you what, recently, I don't know if you guys play video games, I've been watching a lot of the Warzone stuff, and I used to like Call of Duty Blackout, the Battle Royale game, and I was like, okay, well, I'll download the Warzone. I've been playing that. But I really just tried to change my lifestyle, really sit down, really concentrate every single day when I got home, and really worked on the flight stuff and just relaxing, and then I'd go back and test some more, and then relax some more, and then go do some more lessons, instead of getting sidetracked with other things in my life. I really just said I got to hunker down, knock it out. This is literally the first time I've played games in months because of that. Because I'm like, you know what? Now I'm going to do the instrument training, and that's what I did. I did my whole instrument ground training. I passed all 3 of their practice exams, and if you passed them all, then you got a little printout that says now you can go down to the actually testing facility with the FAA and actually take the written exam. But I don't feel very confident on my scores. They weren't that high. Because it was just like a first round go, and I was like, let's retake it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take them a bunch more, really hammer down the questions, really get them locked in good that I understand. And then when I'm ready, maybe I'll walk down there in a couple weeks and go take it. When will you buy me a CMX trim? I haven't been to a store. Honestly, I'm sure a lot of you guys are the same way. You're in these times now, you're cutting back very heavily. Normally, we don't have issues with finances. I'm not saying we have issues with finances by any means, but when her check almost got cut in half, it's kind of like, ooh, we might want you to just go ahead and slow down on the excess spending. So I literally haven't been going out. I think I've been to Walmart once in the last 2 weeks, maybe. I've been to like Publix, which is a local shopping grocery store, and that's about it. I have not gone anywhere because I'm just like, no more spending, and that's about it. In your opinion, what is the easiest and longest lasting ceramic coating to apply to a vehicle? So if it's the spray ceramic waxes that everybody has out right now, I would say either the Turtle Wax, the green one, the ceramic wax, or the Mcguire. Not Mcguire's, Mother CMX. Nothing else I've tried, nothing that's easily over the counter, accessible, nothing that I've tried over the counter lasts as long as those two, nothing. The CMX is a bit of a byproduct when you spray it on. I did mention this in a video when I made the review. Great product, by the way, great product. But when you're actually wiping it off, it has a little bit of a little sand material looks to it, where the actual Turtle Wax will not have that. Both of them last for months and months and months and months and months and months. So they're both winners in my opinion. It's just going to be up to you. And if you don't want to deal with those little sand particles or whatever, then just go with the Turtle Wax. However, I felt like with some of those like Turtle Wax products, the newer ones, sometimes if you put too much on, you'll get a little bit of streaking with them. Others, I never saw that. So again, just be very light if you're going there with it. Hey, Faith, how you doing, Faith? Probably nothing as crazy. How many cruises have you been on now? Scott, we've been on 30 cruises now. We were scheduled to go on the Norwegian breakaway on March 15th? And then the day before, that's when the president came out and said they were locking down the entire country. So yeah, we didn't get to go on that cruise, obviously. So we would have been on 31 cruises. So what Norwegian did is if you didn't want your full refund, which I was like, screw it, we already paid for it, let's just keep it in the bank. They give you 150% credit towards the future cruise. So 150% of what you actually did, it would stay in there. I'm like, 150%, that's like free money. I think it was like $1,700 for free. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it, done. So that's what we did. We just took the free money and ran with it. So that's our game plan. They make ceramic glass cleaner or wheel cleaner. Ceramic. I have not heard of any ceramic glass cleaner or wheel cleaner, Dalton. Sea Quartz. What's up, Richard? How you doing, man? You should buy your own. Yeah, no. Why not do a true ceramic coating on the black van, make the paint perfect? Because even with me polishing it with that, I mean, there's still a couple swirls left, and honestly, it's not my van. I don't want to invest that kind of money into it. She's letting me borrow it and take care of it. So basically, I just wanted to use it as kind of a test bed for the black products, and that's why I actually asked for it in the first place, because Turtle Wax said, hey, you want to test our stuff? And I was like, sure, send it my way. And that's basically how it went down. Can she take the GTR? Dalton, she doesn't trust herself driving the GTR. She's never driven it. She is very much of the mindset of she's scared to death of doing a lot of things. And with that being said, she's too scared to drive the GTR, thinking that way she's going to wreck it or something, and then I would basically rip her head off if she did. And I told her, I said, I trust her with it. But I'll tell you what, her doctor's office for the doctor's physician parking only is like they're rubbing rails. She had a door ding already. Her one and only door ding came from at work somewhere. When they park, they're literally like 1.5 feet apart from each other. So people are always laying their doors into each other and stuff. I taught her to always get the end parking cap. But the problem is you get hit from the other people that come from the other side. So I told her, I said, just look at the vehicles at work. I said, there's only 4 doctors there. It won't be too hard to figure out who hits your car and get them to fix the ding in your car. But she didn't want to mess with it. But yeah, basically she's too scared to do it. Have you applied Glaze to a car recently? The last time I applied Glaze was the Masterson's Glaze. It's right here. Generally, a Glaze is kind of like basically fills in the swirls and stuff like that, and goes from there. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Glaze. Glaze is just like a little quick fix for you. There's nothing wrong with that product at all. It's just that if I'm going to do that much work or just put it out, pop it out there, why not just go ahead and bring the buffer out and just get rid of the swirls in the first place and be done with it. That's the way I see it. But yeah, I haven't used any Glaze besides that in a while. Dalton, $2 more, man. You're getting rich, dog. You got that stimulus money, didn't you? I didn't get that stimulus money, homie. I didn't get nothing. We make too much money, apparently, so we didn't get anything. But I'll tell you what, that following day or two that the stimulus checks hit people's accounts, do you know how many large screen TVs came through my job? Do you know how many mattresses came through my job? Hundreds and hundreds the same day. Hundreds of them, like the big 65, 70, 80-inch TVs. They're everywhere as far as the eye can see. The same with mattresses. Those online companies that sell the mattresses and stuff, hundreds of them. As a matter of fact, there's so many boxes going through the building right now. It is basically just like Christmas. The only thing that it's not like Christmas as is that they're not renting U-Hauls yet or Penske trucks and stuff like that. It's not our building. Our building, though, is actually out of drivers. They don't have any more drivers, so that's becoming a real problem now because everybody that can drive is already driving for the most part. So if that tells you anything, that $1,200 definitely stimulated something, but it's I would have thought that money should have gone towards food and paying your bills and your rent, but you know, I guess everybody wanted to spend it different ways, and we didn't get any of that money. How you doing, Sean? How you doing, buddy? What if Black Magic is ceramic spray? I think that'd be hilarious, honestly, Dalton, if they came out with ceramic spray wax. Did you buy season tickets for the Bucks? No, Faith. No, I haven't. I have never been to a football game in my life, a pro football game. I'll tell you that. So I was born in South Florida. I remember vividly when the Miami Dolphins were building their new stadium. It's called Joe Robbie Stadium, but now it's called Seminole Hard Rock Stadium. It's where the Miami Dolphins play now. I vividly remember them building that. That was like 15 minutes from my house in Hollywood, Florida. I remember going on field trips in the school bus, and you would actually see them building it because it's right there next to the Florida Turnpike. Now I think the address is like Miami Gardens or Pembroke Pines. It's right there on the line, so it was like 15 minutes from where I used to live as a kid. Of course, I lived in Jacksonville, Florida for high school. I never went to a Jaguars game. I've been to Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium, but I've never actually been to a game. I've been next to what's it called? What's the stadium here called in Tampa? I've been next to it. I think it's on Raymond James, whatever road or whatever like that. Maybe it's something like that. Or no, it's Raymond James Stadium for the Buccaneers, and it's on Dale Mabry Drive because I used to live in Clearwater across the bay from Tampa. So I've been by that. As a matter of fact, for where I bought my Civic Type R is called West Shore Honda. That would literally, you stepped outside of the actual dealership door and you just looked over here and there was a stadium right there. I totally forgot about that. It was literally like one block down the road from where the West Shore Honda is. You guys can look it up on Google. Is the actual stadium, Raymond James Stadium for the Buccaneers. So that should be interesting, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know. They're like buying out the entire New England Patriots main teams. That's actually pretty funny. They're trying to buy a Super Bowl win, which at this point they need it. Just ordered some new clear coated gloss black wheels for my truck. Anything. Aaron, I would put on some spray ceramic wax or something as fast as you can to help repel any of the dirt and keep the dust and break stuff off. I would just use I use the Daytona Speedmaster brushes on all my vehicles. Look up that Daytona Speedmaster. So it's bendy, twisty. You'll see it in all my videos. I use it all the time. Highly recommend that. And I generally just use Mcguire's Ultimate Wheel Cleaner. That's all I use really for the most part. It's easy to get. It's economical because it comes in this giant bottle. It has the whole color changing effect to it, so it gets rid of the iron particles, blah, blah, blah. You know the whole drill. And that's what I use. I've been using that the last about year regularly. Other than just testing a few products, that's my general go-to. That's easy to get over the counter. It's not too expensive, like $9 or $10 for a huge bottle. It lasts me a couple months. That's where I like it right there, buddy. And I have had no issues with using it on my black wheels or GTR wheels or any vehicle out there. Favorite cruise line would be Disney. We've been on 4 Disney cruises, and matter of fact, Disney only has 4 ships. They're in the process of building 2 more. But I've been on all 4 of them. So you've been on the Wonder, the Magic, the Dream, and the Fantasy. I've been on all 4 cruise ships. There's nobody that compares to Disney that's in the moderate price range. Let's put it that way. And Disney's expensive for a cruise line, by the way, guys. It's not anywhere close to like Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, or any of those. It's so high. It's like at least double. Sometimes it's double the prices even or more. Unless you get to the luxury lines, like Regent or Seven Seas or one of those really ritzy ones. But then again, it's not fun because those are old stuffy rich people cruises, and Disney just has everything. It's just so fun on Disney, and it's just badass when you go on a Disney cruise. So I definitely Disney. Would it be okay for my to compound my car before I put turtle wax tramp? Yeah. There's no issues with that. As a matter of fact, all you're doing is getting rid of the squirrels. It's kind of basically what I did with the black van here. I did the same with the GTR, by the way, last year. I hit it up with the actual compounded polish, whatever I needed for section. And then I actually came back and applied the Turtle Wax Ice Seal and Shine, which I love, by the way, guys. I highly recommend that. Essentially, it's the black version, but without having the black version in it. I love the stuff. It beads and beads for days. I use it on the windows. I use it on every single thing in here. The mirror, the glass, you name it, that thing is covering this GTR. And it just beads for days. And because it's Carnauba based, the deep red pops so good. But yeah, that's all I do, buddy. I would say the same thing. Do you have any recommendations for drying a black ceramic coated vehicle? You can use the drying aids if you want. That's totally up to you. That'll help disperse the water for sure. Give you a little bit of extra additional boost in your wax and protection. But I just use waffle weave towels. That's all I use. You can find them on Amazon. All the big companies make waffle weave towels. I have like 5 of those things now. And that's generally what I use to, drive it. Have you tried Turtle Wax Hybrid Red Label? You're talking about the wax? No, I haven't tried their. I know what you're talking about, Dalton. You're talking about this stuff, the ceramic polish. This is what you're talking about, because I remember you sent me a picture about Dalton. By the way, anybody who wants to ask me questions just on your off day and you just want to shoot the crap with me, you can reach me on Instagram at Acc0rd79 or my Facebook page at Acc0rd79. And just write me anytime you want. If you just want to just talk about random crap, hit me up. I'll do the best I can. It might be a couple hours before I see it. It might be the next day by the time I actually look at it. But trust me, you can ask Dalton. I do look at the stuff and I do respond. Sometimes, like I said, it might not be right away when I actually see it, but I will always respond to you guys. Back pay of unemployment plus the CARES Act. Yeah, we didn't get anything, man. We didn't get nothing, son. Nothing. Best way to watch college football game is the sidelines. I used to be a photographer at the university, so I got all the spring. Yeah, that actually pretty good. No lines. Yeah. Hey, David, how you doing, man? Thoughts about Rev Auto? Oh, you're talking about these guys right here. I actually had no issues with them, David. They seem to be just totally fine with all their products. I wish I could show you the products, but I've already put them away. So what happens a lot of times when I get products for testing, for the most part, when let's just say company A sends me a bunch of products. Once I get through most of their products, I'm done kind of testing their stuff. I usually put it back in the box that it came in, take a big giant black marker and write on the side what products are in it, like what company the products are from, and I put them in the shelves inside the walk-in closet. Just because I'm overwhelmed with products sometimes. Like I just in the last 2 months alone, I probably bought 10 more different products just myself with my own money going to Walmart. Just being me, you know how I am. I'm just spending money like crazy buying products just to have fun and test them, and then I put out the videos and go from there. So I get way too many products, and I got to kind of figure out a way to get move them. That's basically why. But I had no issues with any of the Rev Auto products whatsoever. They're great guys. They're out there in California. I think it's like kind of like a small family company. It's him and his brother. Big car fans. He's got a GTR. He's got some other cars as well, like a Super, I think now, and stuff like that. So they're big car guys, and they're definitely interested in really making their cars look good. So I don't have any problems with them. I don't remember any issues at all. Now, it's been about 2 years since I've tried them, but again, not a single issue with them from what I can remember. Because normally, you remember the crap products. You know what I'm talking about? Like Black Magic Car Wash, you always remember that kind of stuff. Enjoy your night, Scott. Thanks so much for stopping by, buddy. Do you? Sorry if I didn't miss it, Daryl. I always try to find new products. Yeah, no. I usually see your stuff all the time. Sometimes I don't get back to you instantly, but I do always look at all the stuff. Hydrosilex. I have not tried it. I think that's one of those like Facebook things that are. God, Jesus. I don't know about your Facebook, But my Facebook is full of nothing but those garbage products that they're just spamming nonstop on the suggested page and all that stuff when you're scrolling through it and it's one of this or F1 top coat or this or that. You guys having the same thing I do. And I'm like, holy cow, stop, please. But I heard a lot of bad things about some of those online things that they're pushing right now. Like they're really cheaply made, but they're spending a lot of money in sponsored ads, so that way you'll try it and you'll buy it. But I personally haven't tried it, so I don't want to comment on it. I don't know. I guess it never really did anything for me. Maybe when I get around to knocking all this stuff out later, some I can buy it, but I just haven't really thought about it. No, I appreciate everything you do, Dalton. Seriously, I look at all your stuff. Every time you send stuff, I'll look at it. It might be 3 o'clock in the morning before I actually look at it when I'm done with work and I'm sitting at home. Oh, I'll look at it though. I definitely always do look at them. Do you play sports? I played soccer for 1 year. I played on the golf team for 2 years. I played on the basketball team for 2 years, and that's about it. I played baseball 1 year. I played what we call Little League baseball, whatever you want to call it, from when I was about, 10, 11 years old, all the way through ninth grade in high school. So I was used to playing on sports teams and like playing with a baseball team who like had a brain of what they're doing. Well, when I got to high school in ninth grade, we went over to Jacksonville, Florida, and so I was used to it, and I tried out for the team, easily made it, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then I realized these kids suck. Like most of them had never played on a team before, no baseball team, and I was like, oh, these kids are really bad. So I told my parents, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore after this. I don't want to keep losing. Nobody wants to lose, but when it's like, every time I'd hit, I would either be lead or second hit every time, like in the rotation. And I usually get on base, and then I would be sitting there, and then they'd strike out, and they'd strike out, and they'd strike out. And I'm like, oh my God. And then, so after a while, that wears on you, just like, yeah, I'm good. So I stopped playing that. Golf, I played junior league golf in Pensacola before we moved. That's what kind of got my love for wanting to live on a golf course one day, because I saw golf course houses were always, baller status for me, coming from just a regular lower middle class house. And I'm like, see these homes, and you're just like, these homes are gorgeous. I want to live there one day. So I always told myself, one day I live in a golf course. So when we got married and we were looking for homes, I said, I want to live on a golf course. So we looked at a lot of golf course homes, which of course led us to this house. And now we've had to spend a lot of money repairing screens, and we've had to repair 2 windows now. Our window was broken 2 weeks ago, had to be replaced. They broke one of the windows on the side of the house. I have no idea how it happened. They broke one of our floodlights the day before outside the house, in the back of the house. Had to replace that. It was all shattered, floodlight all over the back patio, and I was like, oh my God. But yeah, that's basically why I live here, because I played on the team. What do you think of the Adams hand correction with a hand? I am not a big fan, Ashton, of doing hand correction. I am by nature a little bit lazy. I want to think of the best way and most efficient way to do it, and for me, that's buying a dual action polisher, which of course I own. And life is a lot easier when you own a dual action polisher. Even if you don't have money to get like a big Flex or Roops, I would definitely recommend Grills Garage as personally what I use. As a matter of fact, go look at some of the really big YouTubers. Like I'm talking about the big pro detailers, high-end ones like your Ammo, your Mike Phillips, a bunch of these other like really like just well-known pros. Not these YouTube guys, but these guys that will put up some of their videos on it. They have many of their videos, you'll actually see them whip out the Grills Garage for stuff. And it's like, yeah, if they're using it, it's probably pretty good. So I personally like to just use the polisher itself for actually detailing, because it just makes life so much easier, faster. I mean, I knocked out this van. This van is huge, but I knocked it out within 2 nights, just coming home at night after work and just knocking it out. It didn't take too long, and that's what I generally like. I'm always detailing videos on this. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the response, David. Always, man. I always talk to you guys, and that's why I recommend that if anybody ever wants to just chat about something, maybe you have a pop-up question and you're just like, I want to ask Chad something, and I just want to pick your brain kind of thing. I'll give you my 2 cents, just like the YouTube channel. I'll just give you my 2 cents, and then you can take it or leave it. Maybe you want to ask a few guys their questions. Totally cool. I'm all about that. You should go be a ballerina. No, actually, the lady, from what I understand, we have Chinese people, or they're Taiwanese people that are next door. They're the ones that always are like, you have too many cars, you have too many cars. From what I heard, she was actually a professional dancer, like in ballerina for like 20 something years. That was her career. And I guess she did pretty good for herself, obviously. They live in a nice home too. So, um, but that's all I know. She's very prim and proper. She will not shake hands with you or anything. I don't know if that's the Chinese culture or anything, but she won't shake hands with you. She won't touch you. She's one of these kind of like very, very skinny and prim and proper ladies. And it's like, oh, she was a professional dancer. I'm like, holy cow, not like a stripper, but I'm talking about like you said, one of those ballerinas. She's on like one of those Chinese ballerina teams or whatever they do, all that stuff. Heard of the semi new small companies, Ethos. A lot of new companies are coming out, Ryan. I can't even keep up with them, and that's the truth. I think everybody's trying to do. How do I say this without being rude? I think it's turning into a cash grab. They see there's the detailing industry is really blowing up in the last probably 5 to 10 years, where you're getting away from just a few small companies that are dominating the industry to like all these little niche companies. And I think that's where people are trying to do cash grabs. So now everybody and their brothers coming out of the woodwork, and that's really cool. And it's nice to see, but there's no way you can keep up with them all. And there's just, how do you keep up with them all when they just keep popping out nonstop? What's your topic? Yes, that is 100% true. Aaron's talking about if you look at something. So I don't know if you guys follow me on Facebook, but I've been having problems with my PC for a lot better part of 2 weeks now, on and off. It'll work great for a couple days, and it has a lot of problems. Yeah, and I told my wife, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to build a new PC. I said this thing is pretty old anyways. I've upgraded the hell out of it as much as I could, but I'm worried that it's gonna crash on me and I won't be able to do anything. And all of our pictures and everything's on there, along with my YouTube creation ability to do it is on there. So I told her, I said, we're gonna have to buy. I had to start buying products. So I did today. As a matter of fact, I did. And she's, I told her about like it's gonna be expensive. I said normally, I said if we were in a normal financial state where we weren't stressing, I would just buy all the parts at one time, build like a monster PC. But right now, I'm just gonna buy just parts at a time. So what happened is now for the last day, since I've been looking at which parts I wanted to buy, and then I was slowly getting the carts ready on Newegg and Amazon, which ones I wanted to buy from. Now every other thing on Facebook now is nothing but PC stuff and like Alienware and all some other PC building companies now. It's pretty funny. Like I've used, I bought. What did I buy today? I bought a new keyboard, new mouse. I bought 6 terabyte hard drive, black, for my just for storage and games and storage of videos and stuff. I bought. What else did I buy? I bought a few things today. I think I spent around like $700. So I know I go a little bit crazy, but then again, I keep my computers forever and a day. So I don't mind going big and spending like $2,000 or more on a PC. That way I can do everything under the sun with it, and it's going to last me for a good long time. So I don't mind spending the big dollars on it. So I figured, why not go top? Oh, I bought myself a water cooling system for the cooling, instead of having a fan, having the water cooled. I bought that. I think about one other thing too. So basically, I'm just going to do a little bit like every week. I'm just going to keep every paycheck. I'm like, okay, I'll buy a few more. So by the end, I have it all, and go from there. Thoughts on the future science? A lot of people are talking about that, Anthony. A lot of companies you're going to be seeing in the next year or two are going to be coming out with that graphene stuff. I would say you will probably see at least a couple of the big names, big companies. If I had to guess, Mcguire's, Mothers, some of the other companies are working on it right now. Just like you said, I would expect, if not 2021, by 2022, everything will be graphene. Just like everything right now in the last year and a half has been nothing but ceramic. So get ready for this, guys. It's a new type of, it's a chemical or whatever we'll call it, graphene, like he's saying. It's supposed to be even more protection, more like water repellency and stuff like that. Get ready. It's coming. It's coming down the pipe. I guarantee you every company is working for it right now. I've already heard rumors that some people are from like the big companies. So, but nothing confirmed. So I'm like, oh God, here we go again. So I guarantee Mcguire's going to come out here, for 2021 products. Well, look what we have. And you'll be like, yeah, Chad told us about that. Obviously I don't talk to Mcguire's, but I've heard rumors and stuff like that the multiple companies were working on it. So I was like, yeah, I could see that being true. I'm way too short to play football. 5'2". Yeah, that's true, man. I'm 5'10", so I'm just average height. So don't worry. My son is very short for his age. Unless he's going to hit some ridiculous giant man syndrome, he's always going to be a short kid his whole life. He is right at the shortest kid in his class right now in 3-year-old kindergarten. There's only one girl that's about his size. Every other person in his class is 5 inches or more taller than him. They just tower over him. He is so small compared to them, so it's like, whatever. I mean, he's smart. He knows how to do a lot of things. He's always on the iPad, always playing video games. He knows how to do a lot of things. I show him how to do things. I don't try and hold him back and don't scare him. So I think he's going to have to use essentially his brain. He's not going to be able to use like towering height to get a free college ride. He's going to have to actually do good in school. Who pays the windows? No, we get stuck with it. Of course, it was a hit and run, So what a lot of times what we've had happen is the golfers will hit it, and then you go out there like, okay, who hit it? Who's going to pay for it or whatever? This stuff. They all, I don't know who did it. I'm like, it literally just happened. It's one of you 4 guys that just teed off right now. I don't know. I just got here. I don't know. That's basically the way it goes. And then, because you can't, there's no film footage or anything like that of who did it, who was teeing off when it hit. There's no way to tell. So we get stuck with it. I think it costs, fortunately, it was a very small window that got broke the other day. It was only like 3 feet tall by like 2 feet wide. So they only charged us like $135 to replace that one window because it just shattered that whole back window. So I had to put trash bags over the window. It was pretty funny. And then they came the next day and replaced the glass. I have not golfed in a while. My golf clubs are right there, as you guys can see. I have a whole ping set in there. So I have my whole ping set. I love ping golf clubs, but I honestly have not golfed in a while, Juke. Do you think chemical guys, I would never spend any big money on chemical guys wax. That's the truth. I would spend $30-something on their jet seal. Their jet seal is very good, but when you have newer products like the Mother Spray Ceramic or the Turtle Wax that lasts just as long and it's a lot easier to apply, I don't really see the point in it anymore, especially it's a lot cheaper. I think Mother's is like $18. Turtle Wax is like $14 for that ceramic spray. We're getting to the point now where there's just better products out there that are going to last you much longer. I'm 16, always liked cars. I'm starting to get into detailing. No, dude, I remember being a little kid and always helping the neighbors down the street always wash their cars and stuff. My dad is like a very clean freak. Like, he couldn't handle our house. He literally couldn't handle it. Everything has to be completely perfect, like spotless, dust-free, everything. Every vacuumed every single week, dusted every single week. That's the way my dad is. So with a car, he would want it like vacuumed, at least basically washed. He didn't know anything about cars, never been that person, but he still wanted the car to at least be washed. So I was used to doing that as well. I've never tried their DA polisher. I can't really base my judgment on that because I don't know. I just base my judgment on products I've used. I've tried the Flex. I think they're really cool, and I've used them a lot. I used them on their demo booth, and I thought they were awesome. Very expensive. Roop's about the same. Very expensive. For the average detailer, that's what I like Grillo's Garages. I've had it personally now about 5 or 6 years. Now I know they have a newer version that just came out this past year, but it has a lifetime warranty. And I bought mine through AutoGeek. All I have to do is go on AutoGeek's website, pull up my invoice. I call them up, boom, done. And they just say, okay, here's your stuff. Put it in a box, ship it to us, and we'll get you a new one. And I love the fact that they're so easy to deal with at Grillo's Garage because they're an American company. I love it. They actually made in America. Their bottling plant is in Indianapolis. Their warehouse is in Indianapolis, even though their headquarters out there in Seattle. Their bottling and warehouses in Indianapolis, and I love it. It was just so easy dealing with them. I called them on the phone. It was actually it was an American who spoke English on the phone. It was just like, this is nice. This is nice. Because I had a problem with my 3-inch when it wasn't working. It was working, but if you put any pressure on it and stopped, and I called them like, hey, can we do something about this? They're like, ship it back, no problem. And that was just the way it was. They're like, we got no problem. Just print this out and then ship it to us. I was like, cool, and it was done. The big 6-inch one I have or whatever is never had a single issue ever. Says your driveway is full of cars. Have the cops driven by? No, actually, the police barely ever come to our neighborhood. I've rarely seen them. If you see police in our neighborhood, something must be seriously going on. I've seen the police here maybe a couple times. Remember, we live in a gated neighborhood with cameras literally everywhere, everywhere. Apparently, the sheriff's office told our HOA reps that we're the safest neighborhood in all of Kissimmee because there are so many cameras in this neighborhood. There's cameras in the basketball courts, the playground. There's cameras in tennis courts. There's cameras at every gate, at every angle. So you have cameras looking at your license plate when you drive up to the gate. They get a couple angles of different cameras pointing at your car while you're driving up to the gate. They have them as you're coming in the main entrance, coming down the country club's drive to get in there. There's cameras everywhere. So anytime there's ever been like one or two minor issues, they instantly know who is the person who did it. And the police, here's the thing, they pull it up, they send it to the police, done. And that's what they do. Like, I had some weird person knock on my door a couple months ago, and they had the badge on, sheriff's badge, and I didn't know. I wasn't home, and I didn't answer, but I had the Ring doorbell. I went to her, we pulled it up, and I sent it to her, and she sent it right away to the sheriff's office, and they called me two days later, and it said, look, there was just a deputy in the area, and they were trying to see if anybody had any footage of something that went on or whatever about this vehicle going around the neighborhood, and they just wanted to see if I could use the cameras or whatever for the footage. And I was like, oh, okay. Because when you see somebody come up with a big old thing around their neck and, the sheriff's thing, you're like, what did I do? So I was kind of worried about that. Where are you running an SSD? Where? I'll be running, I'm going to use the newer version, the little chips that, like plop in I forgot what it's called. You know what I'm talking about. It slides in and locks in. It looks like a little piece of RAM. I'm going to be using one of those. .vme, I think is what it is. If you have time, research David Ick. I don't know what that is. HD is so outdated. No, what I'm talking about, Aaron, I should have stated this a little bit better, guys. So for my Windows operating, I use an SSD. For my storage drive for video games and for like all this video stuff, you got to understand how much video footage you pull. That all gets dumped onto the actual hard drive because you're not using it, you're just using it for storage. That's why I have the SSD. Or the SSD is meant to run Windows and stuff like that. It's not meant for, I'm not using it for storage. Storage is literally just going over there for video games, movies, videos I make for you guys. It all gets dumped onto the hard drive because I don't want it cluttering up my SSD. Sorry about that, guys. Fireball from Singapore. No, I haven't. Your channel rocks, by the way. The car is ridiculously shiny. Awesome. Cat named Scamper. I wish I had cats. I miss my cats. You're speaking my language of PC stuff. I love expensive computer. Yeah, I'm actually, right now, for anybody into the PC stuff, I'm looking at an AMD Ryzen 9 3950 is the thing. It's about $700. But again, because I keep my PC so long, I build them, really max them out when I build them at the time they're built, that they can last me for year after year after year. Like this current computer, the only thing I've upgraded on was the actual video card. Over all the years, I've upgraded last year, or no, 2 years ago to a new video card. It was like a 10 something. And that's all I did because I was like, well, I'm not gaming hardcore anymore, so I don't need the 1080 Ti. But I think I went 1070 or something, and I popped it in there, and that's all I did because I still had 32 gigs of RAM in it. I still had my SSD, still had my hard drive for dumping footage on, and then I had my i7 Intel. So it was like, I don't need anything else right now. Get them back with the air horn on them. Ha! Be funny. So guys, any flex? Not me, man. I don't have that kind of money to spend on flex. Honestly, my grills is fine. Never golf. My mom says it's hard, plus it's expensive. Of course, it's actually pretty cheap. So my golf course that I live on, they have what they call afternoon rates. So anything after like 2 p.m., they only charge you like $13 or $14 to go golf. It's dirt cheap, and that's with a cart as well. So because usually the afternoon is very hot here in Florida, and not many people are out wanting to golf at that time, or they're wrapping up their 18 holes. So if you want to go out and like start at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they only charge you like $15 or less to go, and that's with a cart fee included. So it's pretty cheap here to go golf. So you figure even if it's like $20, so, that's not bad. If anybody played paintball back in the day, I played paintball a lot. I've got 3 paintball guns. That gets expensive. Paintballs are expensive. You buy a case for $50, and you can hammer that case out in a day or less if you really try and go fast. Plus, then you got to pay for air fee all day. Plus, you got to pay for field fee to get on the field. So you're all in like $80, $90 already just for one day. So playing golf is actually cheap in comparison. I'm trying to look through everything. 3-inch polisher work. My 3-inch polisher, I wouldn't recommend it. I know Flex has a nice 3-inch polisher I'd look at, but honestly, you can just change the head. I've done that before. Change the actual backing plate and put a smaller one on there. Good, Dalton. You've been bad? No, I haven't been bad. Chemical guys only VRP. I use the VRP on my tires for like longevity tire shine all the time. NVMe. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate you correcting my brain fart. I knew it was a VME, but I was like, I don't know the right thing right now off the top of my head, but I appreciate that. I was looking at a 1 terabyte SSD for the NVMe to put in there. So that way I can put on the basic stuff I need on there, your Windows and stuff like that, so it'll go really fast. And then actually, like I said, I store games, all my movies from YouTube and stuff like that. That all gets dumped onto the actual hard drive. That's why I already bought the 6 terabyte hard drive, 7200 Western Digital Black, so that way I have tons and tons of storage capability. Like right now I have 4 gigs right now, or 4 terabytes, and they're slowly starting to get filled up now, but it's been a couple years, obviously, so 6 terabytes will be fine. At a good value. Best stuff. Right now, over the counter, anything from Mcguire's, Mothers, or Turtle Wax is really made. God, for years I knew they were bottom basement stuff and they were really cheap. And I'm not saying that because they sent me their stuff, but the fact that I've tried their stuff out recently and listen, I only put the stuff that I love on my cars, okay? That's just the plain and simple truth. Why waste my time putting something on that I hate on my cars, okay? If I'm telling you right now that I use Turtle Wax Seal and Shine on this car and I use Turtle Wax Spray Ceramic, I have it on the Civic Type R, it's there because that's what I know works. It's easy to apply. It lasts forever and a day without having to constantly reapply it. And that means I can be lazy and don't have to do it as much. And I like that kind of stuff. So any one of those, especially the newer Turtle Wax products, have really made leaps and bounds of process. Right now, Turtle Wax beats Mcguire's all day long on longevity of my like a spray wax or whatever. They blow them away. I love that. Mcguire's is still good, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking them, just saying for who's going to take the crown right now, Turtle Wax has blown them away. Mothers has blown away Mcguire's on longevity as well, their CMX spray. I haven't tried the new longevity-wise here on the new ceramic wax they have, but when it comes to those 2 spray products, Mcguire's can't touch them right now. Hey, Ultimate Focus, what's going on there? Grillos or Poros cables? I like Grillos because Grillos has a lifetime warranty. I've personally owned it for 6 years now, and never had a single issue with it. One time I had an issue with my 3-inch one of theirs, and they were super, super easy to deal with. God, I loved it. It was so nice talking to somebody that wasn't going, hello, I'm here to help you now. I want to give you your thing. One of these foreign crap. Nah, I don't want to have to deal with that. I love it. I love dealing with Grillos. It was so easy. The golf course should get more net now. The ball won't break the window. No, they wouldn't put a net up. We had some really big bushes in the back. I let them grow like out of control, like really tall. And that really saved us for about 2 years. But then the HOA got all on our case that our bushes were out of control. We needed to cut them down. So I finally got around to cutting them down. And now the screens and the screen pool keep getting knocked out. Obviously, we've had 2 issues now. One broke window. They broke the floodlight. It just seems like it was better leaving that bush out of control height-wise. But they wrote me up, and they wrote us up a couple times, actually, about saying they need to be cut down or they were going to threaten our title or whatever they call it. Just joined the stream here, chat, talking about paintball. What an odd coincidence. I play myself. $50 a case isn't too bad. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Like, I honestly haven't played paintball in a few years, but I know you had the higher end stuff, your like Marbleizer and stuff like that, where you could really get in the high stuff. There's a guy at my work that actually plays on the pro league circuit, and I forgot which one he's in, which level he's in. But he actually played at World Cup. World Cup's actually hosted here in Kissimmee, Florida every year. And he said their team won. He's actually has many pictures where, they've actually won the championship stuff. And it's crazy because he's just a regular driver. You would have no idea. If you ever saw him, you would never have any idea that the guy played paintball. He's just a skinny, regular kid, and he just goes out there and delivers. I've known him since I moved down here, and he was just working in there in the loading the big semi-trailers. Now he's just a big driver. And he had a Ford Focus ST and all this stuff, so he was a typical car guy. And then
well, what do you know? He plays paintball. And then, I saw him and he's like, oh, yeah, we won and did all this stuff. I'm like, oh, cool. But so, yeah, it's a big investment to play. Tire shine. Jock, I normally go something like either like for the favorite, I would say like a Chemical Guys VRP. I will go with a Masterson's version of that, the trim and tire shine. I want to go with something that has a cream because the cream usually lasts me a lot longer than aerosols. I love aerosols because they give you the wettest look in the world, but they don't last more than a week. Sometimes it'll be like 5 days and they'll be gone already. The fade will be ridiculous, and a lot of times you get bad sling. Your gels from like Mcguire's or Grill's Garage, they do pretty good, but sometimes even they can get a little messy. Where the cream just seems like it's easier to apply. It's not going to sling bad. Your hands aren't going to be covering a bunch of crap. Those are big winning points for me personally. But if I'm going to go for a wet tire shine, we're going to go somewhere like a Mcguire's Ultimate Tire Shine, the Coverall, what else is the Crystal Products, the Puerto Rican company. Oh, I found where their distribution center is. It's right near my job, as a matter of fact. For anybody who knows the purple bottle company called Crystal, they're a Puerto Rican company, and they're I guess their distribution center for whatever is here in Orlando, of course, because we're in Puerto Rican Central here in Kissimmee. So I passed them like, oh, look what that is. It's just like a little storefront kind of thing. It's nothing that you would ever know. It's like in one of those big warehouse things where you have like multiple businesses on the front. And it's like, oh, there they are right there. And you see their big van and their big thing on the sign of their building, I guess where their offices are. Seal and Shine last. Seal and Shine has lasted me upwards. Now, I put 2 layers on, and it lasted me a solid about 11 months, 10 to 11 months. And that was just so easy to apply. I mean, when you want to get lazy, that's the way to do it. It's wonderful. I put it all over my windshield. I put it all over everything on the car. Everything on the car. And it just repels and repels. You go into some of my older Instagram stories. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, go do that. You'll see me actually showing you real world stuff over time. And I have some videos of it in the past couple of months when I was washing it. And the beating was out of control. And I haven't applied any Seal and Shine to the GTR in, I don't know, so sometimes last year. But that's why I like to do my longevity test, because I like to see personally how long these things are going to last. And so I did, and I'm like, damn, that stuff's amazing. So yeah, I would say 10 to 11 months, especially if you put like 2 layers on. Like I put 2 layers of their new black, I think it's around here somewhere. Maybe it's not. Maybe no, it's not in here. Anyways, they have the black wax. I put 2 layers on this van because it's essentially the exact same thing as the Seal and Shine. It's carnauba base, but it has the black tint to it. So I went ahead and put 2 layers on her van for her to make it really pop and really last a long time. It says to let it last for, I think it's like a day, 24 hours between things. So I went ahead and did it, and I'm like, done. So I really can't wait to see how long that will last, because she told me I can borrow her vehicles anytime I want. They're really, really nice people. Well, her husband died, obviously, but she's like, anytime you need it. So, and she was asking about it the other day, is it okay? I'm like, yeah, it's right here in the garage. I haven't done anything with it. I'm just keeping it nice and safe and clean for you. So she's like, I appreciate it. I'll be there in a week. I'm like, look, if you need the van back or your friends need to come take it and use the utility of the van, so let me know. I'll put it right back in your driveway. The keys will be hidden where you want me to hide them. That's how she did it. She basically put the keys in a hidden spot and then said, this is where it's at on my house. So I had to go around the house trying to find where they put the keys, grab the keys, and that was it. She just trusted me to take it. So that was really cool of her. Yeah, no wires at all, Pooh. You just snap those bad boys in, screw it down, you're done. Did you redo the Civic? I thought you had mother ceramics. So music, originally when I first bought it, had the mothers on it, okay? Then when that stuff wore off, I actually put on the Turtle Wax ceramic spray. You guys see in my video, in the one video, I tested this out on it. As you guys probably all saw that video. I did this on it just because I wanted to see it. But then if you guys got to see the end, I actually put this on it, and then I decided, well, screw it, the whole rest of the car is going to have this, because I just did the hood on it with the actual yellow one. So this is what actually covers the entire thing. And then I put a second layer on, and that stuff is just... Every time it rains, it's been raining so much lately, that car beads and beads and beads. When you see some of the videos, at the very end, you're going to see a really beaded blue roof on one of the cars from Turtle Wax commercial. That's my car. That's my Civic Type R in their commercial. When you're going to see it, it just beads and beads, and you're like, this is freaking amazing. Even though I had ceramic, true ceramic on the bumpers, the mirrors, the stuff like that, like the wing and stuff, I still went over it with the Turtleback ceramic spray to give it an extra boost and extra protection on top. But the rest of the car just only has the actual Turtlebacks on it, and that's what I have on it right now, music. So once the actual mother's faded around last fall, that's when I actually put it on there, buddy. Playing new Call of Duty 2. Yeah, it's pretty good. Like the Call of Duty what he's talking about is that Warzone, but people are. So I played Call of Duty Blackout a lot, and I loved it. It's way more fast paced, and I really like that. But so I was like, okay, I'll get Warzone. It's free. I downloaded it from a PC. I downloaded it on the PS4, and I was playing on the PS4. I'm like, people camp a lot. Like it's really camp, and then they just want to go for like these like money objectives. I'm like, let's go kill some bitches. Let's go. I mean, this map is huge. You never see anybody. It's not like Blackout. I'm bored with it, and so I get a lot of kills, and I'm like, this is so boring. Let's go do something, guys. Well, we got to get these other things. Let's just sit in here. I'm like, oh my god, this is so boring. So I don't know if maybe I just need to find a group of crew that wants to just roll deep and just go kick some ass or what. But I get bored just sitting there a lot, man. That's why I like Blackout. Blackout's a lot smaller map. As soon as it hits, it's like just everybody shooting up a storm, and it's just going to town, and I like that. It's high-speed stuff. What's up, Chad? Love your live streams. The reels, keep it up. Thanks so much, Drunk. I appreciate that as well. You know, that's what I try to do. I tell you guys, this doesn't have to be about car stuff. This can be about whatever y'all want to talk about, and that's the kind of what we've seen tonight. Some nights we might talk about what's going on in the world today. Other days like today, we've talked about paintball. We've talked about cruises. We've talked about building a PC. Oh, we've talked about a bunch of crap, and this is what I like doing. You know, to me, this is the best way to get a hold of you guys. I wish I could have put out videos. Every day I wanted to put out videos for you guys. I wanted to go record it. And every day this week was just crap. Like I can see there's an American flag down the street underneath the flagpole. I can see it's just waving right now in the breeze. Don't get me wrong, it feels great inside the garage tonight. It feels awesome. But when it rained 4 out of 5 days this week, and then the other days it was just cloudy as hell, those aren't perfect days to be wanting to make videos for you guys. Let's put it that way. It would really be crap. Club rental for golf. Clubs usually are not that expensive. They might rent them for like $20 to like a set of clubs. A lot of these places will have just basic clubs, but that's not that too much money. Airsoft is big now. No full auto in buildings. You know, I don't know if it's still there, but right near the Orlando International Airport is a giant airsoft field right off the side road where all like the warehouses are in the industrial area. So it's like 5 minutes from my job. One day I would just back when I first was learning how to ride motorcycles, and I was getting experience essentially by riding my motorcycle anywhere and everywhere, just going up and down streets and, you know, really getting a feel for it. And I went by and I'm like, holy cow, what is this? Massive buildings, everything on the side. It's all built up, you know, on these little side roads right next to the international airport. And I drove in, and I popped up, and I'm like, "What's going on, guys?" And I just asked them about it. And they're like, "Oh, this is huge." They're like, "You want to come play?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't have any stuff." And they're like, "We got extra guns for you and stuff." And I was like, "I only ever played paintball, so I really wasn't going to go." But it was really cool that it's huge there, man. It's massive. So if you're into the airsoft, yeah, it's right next to the international. Again, I don't know. It's been a couple of years since I saw that, but I do remember it was there. Bowling, like it. It's fun once in a while, but I haven't done it in a couple years. No, I don't play airsoft. Rent the GT out for $400 a day. You know, there is that company Toro or whatever that you can rent out your cars, but I wouldn't rent them out because people don't respect cars, especially when they're rentals. They're not going to respect your cars. And honestly, nah, I'm good on that, man. I'm really good. I just would rather sell the car outright, buy a plane so that I can fly every day. Like, let's say tomorrow we know it's going to be good. What's going to happen tomorrow? You get on, log on, or I want to go rent one of the planes. Oh, it's been rented out for the whole day. Oh, well, there it goes. I can't go fly tomorrow. And then Tuesday is supposed to be cloudy, so I don't know how the weather's going to be on Tuesday or Wednesday. But that's what will generally happen. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great day. I'm going to go on, log on, and I'll go ahead and reserve the plane on the online website. Oh, it's booked all day long by this guy. Well, that sucks. I guess not. What the heck is that? Oh, it's a giant roach. I can just see it right on the edge of the garage door. It's like a big old roach walking around. I was like, what is that? It's huge. Let's go look at it. You know, because we're outside, so that's why they're just coming in from the outside. I will go and look at this roach. Now we'll go hang out with him. I think it's a roach. It might be a beetle. Nope, it's not a beetle. It's not. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you can see it right there. Let me spin the camera around for you guys, just for fun. Spin. There he is, right there. But I don't know what it is. See him? Some type of bug. Big bug, too. I'd say that sucker's like 2 inches long. It's a big old one like that, but it's not a roach, so I don't know what it was, but whatever. Coverall versus Mother Speed Shine. Coverall versus Speed Shine. That's a tough one, man, right there, because I can't really remember what the Speed Shine looks like anymore. It's been a while, buddy. I do know the Mother's is damn good, and I have good thoughts on the Mother's Speed Shine. Yeah, they're both pretty wet. That's right. I'm getting it now. It's starting to come back. This old man's starting to remember. So the Speed Shine is a really, really, really wet shine, and so is like Coverall. They're both neck and neck now, and they're both last. I will say this to everybody: aerosol cans only last about a week, guys. That's it. I probably have 20 different versions of tire shine and aerosol cans, and they never last more than a week. Just the shine just automatically just is too bright, and it just gets dull really quick. What do you think of Mcguire's all-season dressing for plastics and rubber steel? Very hydrophobic. Thank you. What do I think about it? I don't know if I've used their all-weather stuff before. I guess I don't remember that one. Use crystal once in a while. Can't beat it for $5 if you like glossy. Yeah, it totally works. Again, it's a Puerto Rican brand, and I think one person from them contacted me a long time ago, but it was only like, hey, we saw you tried our videos. And I was like, yeah, and that was about it. Again, being that I'm in Kissimmee, and obviously Kissimmee is like, I think it's like 75% or 80% Hispanic now, and majority of them is Puerto Ricans, so they're all like, oh, you're in Kissimmee? Oh, you should try these products. I've had a lot of these guys that are telling me, they're like, oh, you gotta try this Puerto Rican product. Oh, you can get it now in America. It's made in Puerto Rico. And, so I had a lot of people telling me that kind of thing. Just running into them, around the thing, because they find out that you're on YouTube and all this stuff. It's pretty funny when you get recognized at work and stuff, and I'm like, nah, I'm just a regular Joe like you. Do you recommend the Bessel spot cleaner? I have never tried any of those kind of wet vacs, or what do you want to call them, like removers, steam vacs. I've never tried any of them. Bissell, I had one of those. It was like actually a home vacuum before, but I've never had like any of that kind of stuff that is meant for your cars and stuff, so I don't know. Now, my best friend growing up, I'm pretty sure he had one back in the late 90s, and he loved that thing, loved it. What he would do is like every 6 months to a year, he would do the entire inside of his car, especially he would do it in the summer when it was really hot, and wet vac his entire car, like really get all the spots and dirt out, and then he would just have all the windows wide open, leave the doors open, and then he would just undo the battery. He would literally leave it all the way open, so it would just completely air dry in the sun, and then it would just be gorgeous again, like it was brand new. It was wild because he had tan cloth. I forgot what kind of car he has now. He always switches cars. He has a really good paying job now, so he's like flipping cars every year or two, some other high-end car. Steve Kerr's cousin. I have no idea who Steve Kerr is. What do you think about better Seal and Shine Turtle Wax? Seal and Shine is very good. I did not have any issues with it. The only issue I would say with Seal and Shine is if you spray too much on it, you will get streakiness on it. Okay, the same goes when the black, essentially the black version of it is Seal and Shine, but it has the black tinge to it, okay, for the black cars. Even me on this van, I think on 2 different spots, I just sprayed 2 squirts, and that was way too much, apparently, for it. And I had to start doing little half squirts to it, or just one big squirt, and just kind of like spread it out over the van, because I was like, crap. Like, you walk away and you think it's all done, and you look back, I'm like, oh God, there's a streak or 2 on it. With a ceramic wax, go to town, son, and you're never going to have that problem, because the Seal and Shine has a heavy amount of carnauba on it. Same with their black wax, black spray wax. It has a heavy amount of carnauba, and so you can easily get it all streaky and stuff. But the ceramic spray is just, it's a synthetic wax, so you just spray it on, wipe it off, you're good to go. They should make ceramic windshield fluid for wipers. So apparently, some of the companies are coming out with some kind of additives like that is eventually supposed to do basically like that stuff. Yeah, I have a PS4 and an Xbox. I have a PS4 Pro, Xbox, original Xbox. I had an original PS4 regular, but it broke. Some with the HDMI thing in the back. Like I said, a lot of problems with them. And then I have my gaming PC, which I don't really, again, this last fall and everything, I really cut back on a lot because I really wanted to just concentrate on flight school, and then I got my pilot's license, and now the last couple weeks I've been doing, a couple lessons a night, and I finally wrapped that up last week, so I hadn't been playing a lot of games in a while because I really wanted to concentrate. Like, I'll give you an example. Just for the online course for the instrument course that was $398. So it's like buying a college class, and then I'm knocking it out in a couple of weeks' time, your college course. And so I didn't want to screw around and waste the money on that. Obviously, my dream is to have a career change in about 3 years or so to go to the industry, be an airline pilot. So I don't want to dick around and like play games and kind of put it to the side. I'd rather just knock it out. Once I knock it all these stuff out, and I have all those different licenses, then I feel like I can relax some more. So my original plan was that I would already be doing instrument training right now, if not already getting ready to sit for my actual the FAA check ride with the actual instructor. But obviously, with all this drama going on in the world right now, I haven't. So that's basically why I haven't gamed too much or done too much other stuff, because I was really, really concentrating on it. I'll give you an example. What I normally do is I get home from work later at night, and then I would make myself some food, whatever, and everybody's asleep. My son might still be awake, hanging out, watching TV, and she's like asleep somewhere in the bedroom. You know, and like he'll come out of her bedroom and like come out there and hang out with me. And I'll just go over the lessons, and I'll do lesson after lesson after lesson. Might take an hour break, go do a couple more lessons, and that's basically what I was doing every single night until I finally got through the entire section. It was like, it's almost like information overload, because you're jamming an entire college season or session into like 3 weeks is what I was trying to do, and it was way too much after a while. I was like, can't keep doing this. But that's what I was doing. And then, you know, by the time I would get up, because my son hasn't had to go to school, it might be like 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm like, yeah. And that's basically that's what my lifestyle's been like. Look, Battlefield 5 is the worst game. I haven't played Battlefield in years. I want rain. It's going to be 85 on Thursday. Oh, no, 85. Oh, Jesus. Oh, 85. We've already had the 90s, Dalton. We've already hit the 90s, buddy. And we have humidity. You don't have humidity in Utah. We get pounded. Xbox Series X, I think that's the new one coming out. I think it's pretty good. If PlayStation doesn't get their act together, I'm worried that PlayStation is going to flop hard this next generation. And now that they're starting to allow cross-play and stuff between all the different consoles, you really don't need to buy the different consoles unless you want an exclusive. And right now, they're not saying any exclusives for one or the other, so it's kind of like, just go with the one that gives you the better graphics, you know, and that's what a lot of people, I think, is going to do. So PS4 or 5 better really step it up, because it seems like Xbox has their act together a lot more than PS5 right now. PS5 apparently has a lot of issues in the next generation. They're already having that they're coming out with, I guess, software problems and some other things, and the design. They don't have the design locked down yet. It's a lot of issues, and I'm like, you went from like the best to now you're gonna flop hard. Oof. Then again, the same thing happened. Microsoft Xbox 360 was stellar, right? And then they came out with a turd that is known as Xbox X One, and the Xbox One, and it was terrible. Everybody knows that. Way underpowered, not worth it, expensive. It was $499. Nobody wanted the Xbox Connect. Nobody wanted all that TV crap. We just wanted games, and PlayStation came out $100 cheaper. Remember Xbox One, you could not share games with your friends, which has been a trend for the last 40 years. You just share games, and PlayStation said, we'll come out there and you can share games with whatever you want, and just kind of Xbox really screwed up this gen. So I'm wondering if it's time for Xbox to swing back in favor again. We'll see. I'll probably buy both, because I usually do anyways, and then I usually sell the stuff I don't use. Make a video washing a car in the rain. Have you ever thought about it? So much pros and cons. How to wash it. So I've done one where we actually had the edge of the hurricane come through, and we just had the outer storms of it. So it was like only like 60-degree winds, 50 and 60 mile an hour wind gusts we had. And I made a video like that once. It was a lot of fun. It didn't get a lot of views though on it. There was people downloading it. How dare you? And people are dying out there, and it's like, you're really missing the whole top point of this whole video. It was meant to be like sarcastic for some fun, but you know where the world is. It's got to offend somebody. Somebody's got to be offended. We all need to stay inside the rest of our lives if we're going to survive this, and shit like that. That's just the way I see it. It's like, okay, there's no cure. You have to go outside one day, how many thousands and thousands of us and hundreds of thousands are still going to work every day, and we're fine, so come on out and join the party. No, leave the country shut down, no. But no, there's not even a point of it. And so, whatever. I mean, we have vaccines for the flu, and not everybody takes the vaccine. I sure as hell does it. My wife does it. People still die of the flu, but we still go in and out of the house, you know, that kind of drama. So you're always going to trigger somebody. But maybe one day we'll get ourselves a good heavy rainstorm and we can do something like that. The problem is, of course, as you would know, would be the camera. I would have to protect it somehow. We'd have to leave it in the garage, do something like that, make sure no wind was blowing in on it to get the camera wet, because obviously it's a $1,250 camera. Maybe not as much anymore, but when I bought it, it was $1,250 for that camera. Started a rental business for detailers only. They return the car in better shape. And I still wouldn't do it, because people, when it's not their vehicle, they usually tend to not take care of it. You know what I mean? Like that. My gun loadout airsoft is sniper at camp. You camper. They're boring. I use my detailing stuff to clean Gulf wood. New Taylor woods and Taylor my soft woods are so damn soft. I haven't played, I'm telling you, I haven't played in years. Like I said, I have all ping set right there, and I just haven't played in years. I forgot how much I ended up paying for the ping set, but I used it, and then I was just like I even have my original golf clubs when I was in junior high and stuff, but you know, obviously that's way shorter now. So I enjoyed it, but I would get sometimes a little bit heated. Obviously, sometimes you don't do that good, and you know, and it's just like, you know, you got to be a perfect gentleman while you're out there on the golf course. And so it's not like playing video games where you can just rage or whatever and you get mad. It's like, calm down, you know. And that kind of stuff would drive you nuts sometimes. But you're like, gotta be a gentleman. So it was always fun. Solid rock polishing pad was actually made by Lake Country. Good. I was wondering if it was or not. I didn't know who actually made it, but I kind of figured it was Lake Country or one of the other ones. I was guessing. Let's put it that way. Speed Shine is my favorite. Smells amazing. Coverall versus Mcguire's Ultimate. They're about the same. Wet look wise, they're about the same. Do you like the current GTR body style? Also, do you think Nissan will change the body style? I think the body style is going to change, and soon. As a matter of fact, Nissan has already said they're bringing out another GTR. They are actually working on it right now. Granted, they're in a bad financial problems, obviously. I think things might get delayed. Obviously, they're already saying the new Z will come out this fall, and we're going to see it at one of the big auto shows here in like 6 months. I'm interested to see that. I heard rumors that they're going back to like the old T240Z look, where it's like smaller, lower, skinnier, and longer. That should be really sexy for it. I'm really interested to see that. But with Nissan's current financial issues they're going with, I'm kind of worried that they might put the GTR off for a while, because the GTR is not a high volume car. Hell, I would rather see them bring a new Silvia out at this point, because the Silvia would be a much higher volume car than the GTR, and maybe postpone the GTR for another year or two. But I doubt they'll even do that, you know. I mean, because they'll say, well, we'll only sell like 50,000 of them, and that's not enough. We need to be like the Altima that sells 400,000 or 500,000 units. And you're like, well, what about the people that, you know, you're missing a whole entire area of the market that would never buy your cars, period. But if you bring back a Silvia, or you bring back something like that, you will sell a ton of them, you know. But you got to keep it in that $20,000 to $30,000 price range. So maybe like a 230, 240 horsepower car is what I would want out of a Silvia, maybe 250 horsepower. You don't want to go too much, because then the price goes too much, but you have to keep it somewhere from starting to around 20 to 30 grand, very max. So a new Silvia with 240 horsepower, 250, leave it as is. That beats the BRZ, beats the FR86. You know, it could be real wheel drive, just like the original. People would eat it up. And if you kept it between 20 and 30,000, let's say starting price was 22,000, fully loaded version, let's say it would be like 29, 30,000, very max, so that you don't break the 30 grand margin. I think it would sell like crazy to a lot of younger people that can't afford 35 to 40 grand for a Z, or obviously they can't afford a $100,000 GTR. I think that'd be great, and they would sell very good. But you know what? But the Altima sells 300,000 units, and the Nissan Rogue sells 500,000. That's where the money's at, and it's like, but you're not getting it. These kids don't want to buy a Rogue, they don't want to buy an Altima, so you're losing out on potential sales. And they just think, I think they see it as too much of a risk. I think many companies see that as too much of a risk to invest in. Black Magic or Blue Coral, they both are pretty piss poor, man. I'm back. I just say rock chips. What do you think will be expensive fix? Rock chips are not expensive, Scott. You should be able to have them done in like $100, $200, depending on how many you have. It shouldn't be too bad, buddy. Just bought some Eagle One Nano Wax. And the Nano Wash and Wax, I love that stuff. Love it. The Eagle One Nano Wash, that is one of my over-the-counter top picks all day long. From what I remember, their Nano Spray Wax had actually filler abilities, so it would help fill in the swirls, and it would actually do it. So it's a lot like the new Black Wax here that had the filler here for that. I made the video on it about 2 weeks ago. It had the filler. It's a lot like that, so I think you won't have any problems with it. Bro, can I add you on there? If so, it should be pretty easy to find me on PlayStation Network. I'll tell you that. No problem. It's a good system. PlayStation gang for life. Like I said, I played for a long time, and I get really competitive with my stuff. I've always been that way. I don't like to lose. I don't think anybody likes to lose in life, but I was always raised to like win, be the best you can. That's my dad was very serious about don't half-ass anything. Do the best you can, be the best in school and all that stuff. So I was really raised to like not like kill somebody just to win, but you know what I mean? Like try and always win, So I usually always had some of the best grades in my class every year. These people would roll into a test. Oh, I've been studying for a week straight, and I'd roll out with a 99. I didn't study one day at all. I'm like, I just listen to the teacher. It's really easy for me. And they'd be like, that's bullshit. I got a 97. I studied for the whole week. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. It's not hard for me. It's easy. So I got so used to always, winning and stuff. So I don't know. Like I get big into it sometimes. I'm like, you suck. It's kind of hard for me to want to play. It's like, what are you doing? It's just the way I am, man. Team Puerto Rico 9880 Corolla. That is the Puerto Ricans' go-to car, is a Corolla. If anybody who doesn't know this, the Puerto Ricans' go-to car for family car, every car is a Corolla. I could take you out right now, Kissimmee, and we could drive for 5 minutes. I bet we'd see 10 different Corollas on the road. That's all you see here. That's all you see here. You never see Camrys on the road. Never. You will see some of the new Honda Accords, but for the most part, it's just Corolla is life. Corolla is life. That's all you see. I can be at some stoplights and see 5 or 6 Corollas at the same stoplight, and you're like, the hell? And yeah, that's their go-to family car. 360 had a problem with the red ring. I did. My first Xbox 360 did have the red ring of death, and then I bought I forgot what they called it, the Elite version or something like that. It's a black one, and I never had a problem after that again. I had PS2s. So a little bit of background for me. When the PS2s first came out, I bought like 5 of those bad boys, and I sold them all. I made huge amounts of profit on those things. That was back in 2000 when they came out, 2001, somewhere around there. I bought a ton of those, sold them all. I kept one of the PlayStation 4s or PlayStation 2s because essentially I had it for free because I sold so many and I made so much profit. I kept it for free. Ended up selling it like 6 months later because I just never played it. By then I was so hardcore into PC gaming that the PlayStation console just sat there, and I was like, nah, let's get some of my money back. I'll put it towards something I really could use. Thing with the washing rain, trap start from the air because it brings down. That is very true, sir. Buy a rain cover for the camera and use it baggy. Now, I would probably put the camera in the garage, like we're staying right now, and just point it out towards the driveway. You work for Nissan. Nice, bro. I remember one of the guys, he worked for Nissan, and when we were looking to buy vehicles, we test drove the Pathfinder. He said, do not get the Pathfinder. The transmission on that is terrible, and it constantly breaks down, so do not buy it. And yeah, it was nice. I like the Murano for a family 4-door vehicle. It's very good looking, I thought, and very comfortable ride. But again, I stayed with the Civic Type R because I said, what's going to hold more value over time? What's more fun for me? And what's cheaper? Civic Type R won out hands down over all the SUVs. I love the 4Runner. The 4Runner is cool. It has huge high resale value, but way overpriced. And I said, nah, I'm good on that one. So, it all kept funneling me towards that Civic Type R. And of course, Civic Type R gave me 4-door vehicle with tons of room in it, full hatchback, obviously loads of room. We took it grocery shopping yesterday. It's ridiculous how much room is in the back there, and it's still fun. It's sporty. It's rare because it's a Type R. I always told myself I'd buy a Type R whenever a new Type R came out. It went back in like 2000. I was like, I'm gonna buy another Type R whenever it comes out. That was the first Type R that came out, so I bought it. Apparently, there is a rocket guy that died last year so they could prove the Earth is flat. Yeah, that was a while ago. I remember that. Since you do videos by a lot of cinema lenses for the camera, nah, I leave it as is. I'm not one of these. I don't want to say give it to you guys raw, but I want to give it to you straight and real and give you guys real results. And not trying to beat around the bush, not trying to fluff it up, not trying to look like I'm something special. This is how it is. This is real world results in the wild, not in some, laboratory. Like some of these people's videos I've seen, it's like they have a lab, it looks like inside. And you're like, what? And it's just like gorgeous inside and spotless. That's not real world. 99% of people don't have that kind of ability. So I like to try and keep it as real as possible. So, I don't fake it for you guys. I think by 2030, majority of vehicles will be electric. I don't know about that, man. Especially oil prices so low right now. Like oil, if anybody doesn't pay attention, look at the gas prices down the street. Gas prices are collapsing. It's like we drove by Walmart yesterday, and here, at least by the St. Cloud Walmart, it was $1.57 a gallon for a regular unleaded. Now I know some parts of the country are far cheaper, but then of course I know like California is $1 or something more. So seeing $1.57, I haven't seen that low in, I don't know, almost 20 years now. I understand that Russia and Saudi Arabia and the United States are having an basically an oil war. They were trying to flood the market, so to essentially get the other people out of it. And then as that was going on, that's when all this drama in the world happened. And then output volume, there was no need for the volume because nobody's driving. Over half the country is staying at home and not doing anything. So the demand for oil then just completely plummeted on top of that. So you already had these countries flooding the market between Russia and Saudi Arabia to really basically shut the other one out, is what they were trying to do, is just kind of push the other one out of the market by who could pump out more oil. So that oil was already coming down, and then this happened, and then now there's no demand for the oil. So that's why oil fell through the bottom, because it was like, well, we don't really need the oil anymore, guys. And they're like, but we have all this. Nah, we don't need it. Okay, so the price basically went down. And that's why we're at right now. I think when the economy bumps back up, when all this stuff ends, you'll see, of course, the demand go back up, and you'll see gas prices go back up accordingly, but hopefully not as bad as it was. Does Walmart foam gun produce the same? I would say it's pretty close. Renee. The only problem is the actual bottle that holds the suds is a lot less than what you would get just buying a $15 one from Amazon. Honestly, buy a $15 one from Amazon. That's all you'll ever need. As long as you rinse it out after every time, rinse that sucker out, and just go ahead and just put it back on your shelf. It'll last you for years and years and years. 1980, foam guns work better with high pressure washers, a change of orifice. I just left mine as is because I felt like I could change it and maybe increase some stuff, but I felt that wouldn't be true to the game, because then that's kind of cheating the system. I wanted to always give people watching my videos a realistic approach to it, saying that if I bought this with my regular foam cannon, would I get these results, yes or no? Yes, you're going to get exactly what I'm going to get. As long as you are following the rules or putting whatever ounces it says per bottle and how many ounces of water, you'll get these results every time. Or if I change that, it would increase the foam, and then people might get the wrong idea that, well, Chad, your video showed it was like this, and I got it, and it's not like this. And then I'd have to explain all this to them, and I don't want to deal with all that, because I'm not saying that's lying, but I don't want me to be putting out videos showing something that regular Joe is not going to have without them modifying theirs as well. How's that sound? Paint protection film. I don't know about that. I think the future is going to have to be very easy to apply. Remember, the average consumer wants nothing to do with the true ceramic. It's too scary for them. Okay, they don't want to play with it, so they're going to just go ahead and just go with, what do you got over the counter that can just spray on the car? Sure, it might not last for 5 years or 10 years, whatever, but I can spray it on there once every 6 months, and I can get really damn good results for what I need. I don't need that extra 5 or 10% of water repelling or bug or bird poop stuff on it. I'll take that extra 10% less than a true ceramic will give me, and then I'll be happy. It's like, it would have to be very easy to apply the film. How's that sound? Without having any issues. I remember when I first started doing this, Eagle One was the first company that ever wrote me. This is before Eagle One got bought out. They had a spray-on kind of stuff that was actually kind of like a wax and stuff where it protects against bugs, bird poop, all this stuff. And it was really cool. I loved it. But then again, they got bought out, and then it all went downhill after that. They canceled all that stuff. They had stuff for like bug wash. They had stuff for rinse. I loved it. You just connected it to the hose. But I still have the bottle somewhere around here. But that was a great way to just slap it on and protect it. And I was really, really happy about that stuff. It was a lot of fun to use. It gave you good protection afterwards. And I don't know. It was, to me, it has to be really easy to apply, and I like that about that product. Ever watched Fast Car on Netflix? I haven't. I see it on Netflix, but I've never actually sat and watched it. What did I watch recently on Netflix? I don't remember anymore. Yeah, I watched something on Netflix. I was a history major in college, so I like a lot of like history, war history, military history. I love that kind of stuff. I've always been interested in like space travel and stuff like that. I've really been always interested in that kind of stuff. So documentaries stuff I usually do enjoy watching stuff on. Never buy Nissan, just lease one. CVT sucks. The good thing about the GTR is, especially when I had my 370Z, both were 100% made in Japan. Matter of fact, the same factory. And obviously, they're handmade engines and stuff. Just vehicles that are 100% made in Japan, the qualities are way better. Now, maybe you could tell me about the new Nissan Armadas, the AKA Nissan Patrols, because it's now is the same product that you get around the world. I would assume that quality is much better. But the Pathfinder for sure, no, because, you know, Pathfinder's made, I'm pretty sure, in the United States, but I can't remember where the Nissan Patrol, or AKA the Nissan Armada, the newer ones, the roundy ones, those are actually made in Japan. So it's like, I would assume that quality is much better. Give it to us raw. No condom, brother. No condom, drunk. We just hit it raw. If something happens later on down the road, but at least you know I was telling you the truth the whole time. But in a few decades, oil will run out. I don't think so. They always say that. They always say this, that, and the other. As a matter of fact, they just found another massive quantity of oil in Alaska. Another huge amount of it. Right next to the Alaska pipeline, as a matter of fact. But they'll never have to tap it because they don't need to tap it right now, especially with oil prices being this cheap. You know, I've seen a lot of comments on it. All they do when oil gets really cheap and stuff is they just, you know, they cap all the oil wells and stuff like that, and they just wait for the oil to go back up in price before they start going again. At least, hey, it's already been tapped. We were already using it. We knew the oil's there, but we won't pull the oil out until we actually need it again. But we don't have to go and drill again because we've already got to it. We were already using this pump. We're just going to cap it off for now. So that's actually pretty cool. Cheap got $1.97 at Walmart, not even worth ruining fuel system. I don't have any issue with using Walmart stuff. A lot of people for years always said stuff, but I use 93 and everything, obviously. Well, I'll take that back. The White Prelude, no, even the White Prelude, now that I think about it, I put 93 in the White Prelude because I don't drive it enough. Like, if I fill up my cars, it usually takes me like 2 or 3 months before I'm out of gas in the car because I keep hopping between cars. I know that's bad. So I usually put top fuel in all my vehicles. All my motorcycles 93, even the old White Prelude behind here. The old white one is sitting right there. See it? Even though it's like the whole paint in the hood is just completely flaking off. It's complete crap. I still will use 93 in there because it's like I spent so much money having the engine work done and everything on it that I want to take care of it. So again, I can't tell you the last time I put gas in the white car. It's been probably a month or two. So I drove it for a while there because it was a full tank of gas. I drove it for maybe 4 or 5 days to work about 2 weeks ago. And then I didn't drive it again because when my son not being in school, I could drive the motorcycle more often. So I've been taking the motorcycles about 3 or 4 days a week. It's been great. I love taking the motorcycles to work. Really fast. I also worked on Port Toyota a couple of years ago, and more than half the cars we drove, they're Prius, and they say that that's what they want to future, replace gas cars. Yeah, but with oil being so cheap, I don't see it happening. And if oil remains this cheap for a certain amount of more years, I don't see it happening either. I think it'll be that way. I don't know what port you were at, but I remember in Jacksonville, Florida, they have the dock for all the East Coast Toyotas to go into the East Coast, go into Jacksonville. So it's pretty crazy out there. You can look at a satellite map, and it's just like thousands of cars out there at the port of Jacksonville. Fossil fuels are finite. They will end. Alternatives, but by then, I think the alternatives will be so much better. Right now, like electric cars don't go that far.
I think by the time that the world runs out of it, you and I will all be dead and dust in the ground. We won't even be thought of anymore. And by then, you're going to have technology that you can plug in an electric vehicle or a flying car, wherever the heck we would have at that time, and that they're going to be able to go like 700 miles, not even bat an eye. I think batteries will get there, or we'll find a new type of fuel solution that we won't have to worry about, like that kind of situation, like you and I think of today. Hell, I think if what is it, if SpaceX and all them get their act together, I think in the next 50 years we're going to be colonizing either the moon or Mars. Is the way that Elon Musk and them are pushing it. It's funny because NASA's like, hold up, guys, I'm coming. I might be way behind you guys, but I'm coming. Because it's just like, Jesus, what have you been doing, NASA, the last 30 or 40 years? You haven't done jack diddly. And here comes Elon Musk just bowling over people saying, we'll do it. And, they're just knocking stuff out of the park, and they're the ones making all this stuff and having massive jumps in technology that I have a feeling that SpaceX will have us on the moon or Mars in the next 20 to 30 years. Obviously, we'll all be old men by then, but it'll be cool to see. Do you think us attacked Rash for oil? Nah, I don't think so. That kind of stuff obviously was a long time ago, but I don't see it as we attacked them for it. Electric cars need to have a long price. That's what I talked about. Yeah, Tesla Model 3 is cheap. I just don't like their looks. They're kind of ugly, and I heard their quality of the build is like terrible quality. I spent $370 last week for a synthetic oil change. Jesus, what the hell are you doing, man? That's way too much. I have the Eagle One soap element shield. Yes, I think that's what's called element shield. Good call on that one. No spark plug should cost $250. That's ridiculous, and I agree. Changing spark plug is pretty easy. I think you robbed on your plugs. I think he was raped. Not even robbed. They took him over, bent him over the engine bay, pulled his pants down, and took full advantage of him from the backside. That's a lot of money, buddy. Yeah, but later you can do it yourself. Yeah. Some F1 got let go from his team for saying N-word. Yikes. I have no idea. I don't watch F1 racing, I guess. What do you think about the new Mazdas? I think they're nice. So I think it was last year when my grandma died, we went up to Illinois and they gave us the CX-5. Man, that thing was essentially a luxury car. It was very nice, very good quality, very comfortable, great looks. I think Mazda is really doing good, really starting to do good. The Mazda Miata is a fun looking little car. You have to have either no wife, no husband, whatever, in order to buy one because you only have 2 seats in it. But I think it's a fun little car. Or just have way too much money and you can afford multiple cars. Yes, I know that sounds stupid because I have multiple cars. You'd really have to have a love for it. I kind of like a little more power in my cars, but for somebody who doesn't worry about the power, it could be a fun little car. Speaking of space travel, do you think they will go to Mars like they do with the moon? I would like to see us going to Mars in the next 20 years, if not sooner. I would like to see us there. I think SpaceX is literally grabbing NASA by the balls and dragging them along and saying, what have you been doing the last 40 years? We landed on Mars with the Explorer rovers back in the 70s. What the hell have you been doing the last 40-something years? NASA hasn't done jack diddly. No, we're just going to go sit in the space station. Lame. Go to the moon. Go build a moon base. Go start getting humans out in space, like actually getting us traveling, and then build a base there where you can launch rockets from the moon and then take us to Mars. Use that as a launch off point because you have a lot less gravity, so you don't have near as much power to get out of the atmosphere of the moon versus the Earth. So you can do a lot more with a lot less, Steel ship, yeah, I wouldn't go there. Don't support unions. I just go. I'm in the union at work, but that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. I don't look at it that way. I just go into work and I just go to Walmart and buy whatever the hell I want. That's just the way I see it. As a matter of fact, our union screwed us on a contract a year ago, so it's just kind of like whatever. It's like whatever the top couple people want. If they get paid by the head corporation, then they'll ram the contract down your throat. Going to bed. Mike, thanks for stopping by, man. Mitchell, my apologies. Thanks so much for stopping by. I use 87 to 88 octane in my specific. Yeah, no, you don't need to go for more. It's just that normally I just it's a mental thing for me, especially with gas prices dropping so much that I like to put 93 in all my vehicles. Obviously, GTR requires it. Type R requires it. The Prelude requires it. Well, I'll take it back. They require premium. Premium is technically 91 or above, so I always put 93 in it. The white Prelude doesn't take it. The Honda Grom doesn't require it. The ZX6R, the green sport bike, does require it, so I have to put it in there. The van doesn't require it. So the van we usually just put 87 in, but that's about it. But all the other vehicles, for me, because I usually don't gas them up that often, like the blue car, the blue Prelude, I haven't, shit. So it had a problem. The fuel pump went bad and fuel filter went, well, I'm sorry, the fuel filter was clogged. But then again, it's 20 years old. So I had that replaced a couple months ago. And before that, I think the last time I filled that car up was like November. So, you know, it runs and stuff. They just told me to run all the gas all the way out and then refill it with some good, clean gas. So I'm like, okay. I haven't ran out of gas yet because I just don't drive the blue car enough. I've done spark plugs on the Jeep and used a thing. Nathan will live in Mars. That would be pretty cool. Vehicles will run fine on 87 octane for the life of them. Why spend more if you can trade it eventually? See, I keep my stuff forever. That's probably why. Brian from CA. What's up, buddy? I'll be 49 when I have a man mission. 49, you old man. NASA keep delay, so there's that. SpaceX getting advanced, so NASA's canceled. I dropped the buzzer. Yeah, I don't know. I think SpaceX is. I love the fact that private companies are really starting to take over now, and they're really taking the lead here on space because it's like, obviously, NASA just doesn't care anymore. The government just seems to be like meh on it, and I think space is the future for not only America but for the human race. As you get to express, you know. Let's say we did have a serious virus, a real, not this garbage that's going on right now, but like a serious one where it literally is killing like half of the earth, you know, really bad, just raping half the earth, maybe 3/4 of the earth's population is gone. Well, the thing is, if you're on a different planet, then obviously the human race is going to survive because, you know, that's the way I would see it there. But that's just me. Let's see what else. Sorry, it got disconnected for a second, so I'm trying to play around with some stuff here, guys. I must believe that past 100 years found alternatives to fossil. It seems like every time. Have you noticed this? Every time that you, what's it called? Every time that we're gonna run out. It just seems like they magically find more oil or whatever. It's like, right. Remember, we're all going out there saying that millions of Americans were going to die because of this thing going on in the world right now. And then suddenly, oh, well, maybe it's 600,000. Oh, maybe it's 200,000, 100,000. Oh, maybe it's going to be a lot less. And it's like, you need to shut the fuck up because clearly you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. You're just speculating at this point. You're idiots out there. And you're costing people their jobs and all this other stuff, or whatever we're talking about in just general. You don't know, but these people are they're just freaking people out and stuff. And it's like, okay, guys, you know, fuel cell car. Again, I think with oil being this cheap right now and there being a glut of oil, that you're not going to see, if this keeps up, you're not going to see as much development into like the hydrogen base and stuff like that, because it'll be like, why? I'm buying gas for $1 or something a gallon, like it was the 90s all over again. I don't care. I'm good to go, bro. You know, if you think about it, with inflation, that would be like the 90s being like 90 something cents a gallon, 80 something cents a gallon right now to buy gas. It's like done. I remember, let's see, it was probably 1999, right around there. I had a Chevy Beretta, and that was the first car I bought on my own. And I remember I could work for 1 hour at work, 1 hour at my pay rate back then, and completely fill up my car. 1 hour. That was with my pay rate back then. My pay rate was pretty good compared to minimum wage, so I was like, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. And with 1 hour, I'd fill up my entire car with gas. It was like, this is great, you know. And then, you know, later on, obviously, like 10 years ago, when gas was like $4 and change a gallon here in Florida, it was like $4.10. I'm like, yeah, no, we're not driving very much. Nope, because it was costing you like 60, 70 bucks to fill it up. Well, that's a different world, you know. So, yeah, I don't know if the technology push is going to be that hard if gas stays cheap for a long time.
Jamie, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate your time, man. Recommend getting fuel stabilizer. I actually have some. 303 is owned by Gold Eagle, and Gold Eagle is the one who makes the fuel stabilizer stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. What's it called? I have a bottle of it over here. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'll show you the bottle. Anyways, they sent me a bunch of their stuff. The fuel stabilizer. God, why can't I think of it called though? Nope, wrong side. We will get this stuff. Hold on. Yeah. Stable. Yes, if you look at this, this is the same company that owns 303. Okay? A little bit of knowledge for you, dropping some knowledge on you. So 303 doesn't just make that stuff. 303 is just the detailing arm of the Gold Eagle company. Pretty cool knowledge, and hopefully you enjoyed. You're a little bit of a dropping some of that knowledge on you there. But yeah, they're this exact same company. So Gold Eagle is the parent company of 303. It's all in the same building. It's just that there's like, I guess they have an office for like the 303 side and then an office for that kind of stuff on the other side. So, it's no big deal though. They're very nice people though. Very cool people. They found a planet with only 4 light years away. You'd have to be able to find a way to get there. Though you won't see humans leaving the solar system until we have some type of a drive that can get you there. I know you're talking about like ion drives and stuff, but still, it was an ion drive. It would take you how many years just to even get out to some of the outer planets? It might take you a year or two, or getting out to obviously outside our solar system to another one would obviously take, somebody's entire lifetime. I think we would only see that if the Earth was dying essentially, and then the whole world would put in the resources in order to build a couple of basically lifeboats to get human race to these other planets to restart life on. And I think that's the only thing you'd see until we have some type of like AKA warp drive or whatever to get us there faster. Start the process of Adam's ceramic coating. Hopefully it goes good for you, J Money. I like to alternative agents because I don't care about the environment and climate change. I just, for me, electric cars don't work for me because if I'm going to drive somewhere out of state or whatever, or want to go somewhere far, I can't sit there and wait for another 12 hours to recharge the actual batteries. That's just, it's useless to me. When I can refill up the car in 3 or 4 minutes at a gas station, then I can do another 400 miles, that kind of thing. Even with the plane I'm looking to buy, obviously the planes are older, planes are, I'm looking at are like 60s and 70s. The same thing. You have to plot on your out, like, okay, I'm going here, but I need to stop here because I know that I can only last 5.5 hours with a full tank. So I want to plan something about 4 hours away just to make sure I have plenty of gas in case I run into headwinds or whatever. You plan something like that. So you always have that extra buffer period in case, you don't want to run out of gas. So, okay, what's about 3 or 4 hours away from here so I can go land, top it off in a couple of minutes, top off the plane, and then just take off again. And that's what you generally do. But who can sit there for 12 hours? We aren't at that. If you never go outside, or maybe you have a gas car, I guess that's fine, but I just don't see the point for me. Do you ever get it? I have seen racing octane at like near racetracks, but I've never around actually where I live. No, 93 is the best you can get around here. I know they have the racing octane. So there's Orlando Race Speedway or whatever. It's on, let's see, it would be the east side of Orlando. It's big, with drag strip and all that stuff over there. Right, the gas station's right outside there. You can actually get race fuel. But they don't have 95 here. I haven't seen. It's only 90. So usually it's 87, 91, 93 in our gas tanks. Or obviously diesel if you need diesel. Oh, Lieutenant Dan is in the house. What are you doing, Lieutenant Dan? What are your thoughts, Chad, regarding Energizer now owning the only bald eagle? Only eagle. Sorry. One is. I don't know. I think it's just a grab to make more money. Buy some of these companies up dirt cheap and then try and squeeze them for profits. And then if they're not making any more, then dump them and leave them. And I think it's going to hurt the quality of a lot of them. Now, however, Armor All's newer products from 2020, like their soap was much better than it ever has been in the past. I mean, if they kept up that level, I could see that it would be worth being bought out. Now, I would hope that Eagle One does the same thing, but Eagle One's squirt bottles were pretty much crap that I wasn't too happy with it. And I was really kind of like, meh. They just, every time I try and use them, they would just fizzle out or they just barely put out any product. So hopefully they'll correct that. I guess we'll see. Curiosity Stream is $10 for 4K stream, $2. Curiosity Stream has everything on it. See, I'm subscribed to Netflix, obviously, Hulu with no commercials, Hulu, so it's like $11 a month. I have Disney Plus as well. Yeah, I have all those streaming ones. All the banners in the garage are pretty slick. Yeah, I love them, Jock. I mean, this is one of the things. So a lot of companies, a lot of people say, well, if you want me to review your products, I want all kinds of money. A lot of the big YouTube channels, doesn't matter what type of field you're in. Let's just say it's computer parts, okay? Because I've been watching a lot of computer videos because I need to build a new PC, so I'm seeing what I want, and I've been ordering the parts. Well, if you want them to essentially basically sponsor your products and put them on their videos and they have 500,000 subscribers, then they usually charge you money. What I tell these companies are, hey, I'll do it for free. I don't care. I love trying products. I love spending my own money on buying products, but can you send me one of your banners? I don't care if it's a used banner. I don't care if it's new. Can you guys get me a banner? I'd love to support the companies that support me and just give me these free products. So that's what generally has happened. I just use it as a collection because I've been so proud of all of the companies that have always looked out for me and just gave me the shot, so I don't mind having the stuff up here. So it's kind of like a wall of success for me in a way that it's I'm so proud of it that I have all these people that have just reached out to me and said, Chad, would you like to try our stuff? And I would appreciate your honesty. Whether you like it or you don't like it, we'd like your honest opinion. So I like to showing it off, and that's just, to me, it's like, man, look how far I've made it by just putting out a little bit of fun videos once in a while. All these different companies are all contacted me. I've even had a couple more that they've never sent me a banner before, and I've asked for it. That just, said, hey, Chad, would you try out our products and give me your true thoughts? I don't care if you don't like them or not. But if you don't like them, give me reasons why you don't like them. Even Turtlewax is like that. Turtlewax flew me, my wife, and my son out to Arizona with all the other YouTubers. And after I was done, and I was on my own eating, Mike, the head, the chemist, he came up to me and said, hey, can we talk for a while? I'd like to pick your brain on some stuff. And maybe he asked everybody. I don't know. I didn't see him talking to anybody else about that. And he was asking me, well, why don't you like some of these products? What would you like to see changed? And because he's the man that gets it done. He's the one that goes back in the lab and changes a few chemical properties and then, fixes stuff. And I told him what I didn't like about some stuff, and I told him what I did like. And he said, all right, well, we're going to talk about that. So, and then, of course, they called me the other day and had me on a conference call about 3 weeks ago now. And they had me on a conference call with all the heads of Turtlewax and were asking me some of the questions. What about this? What about this? And they had a couple future ideas in mind. Well, what if we came up with this idea? How would you like to see it implemented? And I would just tell them my thoughts. And I like that kind of stuff because it's like you trust that my 2 cents, my little one man's thing, and you trust it. So I have no problem sporting their banner. That's actually a flag, by the way. That's actually a flag that was meant to fly at the Turtlewax headquarters. Actually has grommets on it. It's pretty cool. And they gave it to me, and I was really, really shocked about that. So I have no problem backing these companies up because it just shows you can be this small in the world and they still want to hear you. And so see what your thoughts are. So I love that. They plan to send a probe to the next planet in 20 years, breakthrough star shot. Yeah, 20 years. We're gonna be still old. Damn bugs are starting to come in here now. Well, my house is 95 octane. Yeah, we don't have that here, buddy. Now I remember when the 7-Elevens, usually 7-Elevens have more different things. They'll have like an 89 octane, an 87 octane, a 90 or 91 octane, a 92 or something. They have way more options than they do. Most gas stations in Florida I've ever seen, or at least in the South, would be like 87, 91, or 93. That's all you get. 3 options. Cut or to leave it. Even though they consider premium is anything 91 or above, I just go ahead and put 93 in all my cars. But anyways, no object. What would the car you would buy? So Matthew, as you know, I have the GTR here next to me. That was my dream car for a long time. I remember when they were designing this car, and just like you guys, I was watching all kinds of TV, YouTube, and all this stuff back in the day when YouTube was actually a lot better. And I just enjoy getting to watch all this stuff. And I saw Nissan just beating the crap out of these Ferraris and Lamborghinis, just roasting them. And I was just like, no way. Back then, brand new GTR was only, I think, $80,000 or 70-something thousand. It wasn't near as expensive as it is now. And I was just like, oh my God, one day I'll have to have one. Because, of course, I always like Japanese cars, always had them for the most part. So I was like, that's going to be my car one day. So that's the car I bought.
Lamborghinis and stuff are always cool and they're fun to see and stuff, but would I have it? I don't know. I think I must be getting old now. I'd rather have a big house out like Montana or Wyoming or Colorado where I could see the big Rockies mountains every day, see the snow once in a while, and have maybe a 4-car garage there where I can have a couple cars. But I'd rather invest a lot of money in buying a new house where I can have like the winter house and have the summer house in Florida kind of thing. If you had money was no objects. What are some other brands I would like to look into? Snow foam. Camel Guys is some of the highest snow foam stuff. Snow foam. What would do really good? What does really good? Obviously, Limitless does stellar in the foam cannon. Smaller company. Again, big shout out to them. He signed it for me and everything. The owner. Stellar in the foam cannon. Absolutely stellar in the 2-bucket method. Really good. What else have I done really good? Oh, the wax shop. The wax shop, if you want to buy some of their stuff online, amazing in the foam cannon. Amazing smell, by the way. The cherry smell was to die for. I will always remember that scent. You always remember scents about where you are. And memories, scents memories trigger those memories of when you were younger. It's actually a fact. So if you smell that thing, you're like, oh my God, it takes you back 20, 30 years when you were a little boy or something like that. And you actually remember that. It's actually a scientific thing they found. What else does really damn good in the foam cannon? The Mother's 3X. If you can buy it, I bought mine I bought mine offline. This is really good in the foam cannon, by the way. See, it's 3X. I love it because it's 100 fluid ounces. Obviously, you can see I love it a lot. What else have I used that's really stinking good in the foam cannon? I think Eagle 1 is pretty good in the foam cannon, or at least the old product was. I haven't had a chance because my foam cannon broke right before all this drama took place. So I haven't had a chance to try this in the foam cannon, but I had some subscribers write me and they said they took my recommendations, they bought it, and they're really impressed with it on the foam cannon. So I'm just going to go with what their recommendations are on that. Adams did pretty good in the foam cannon. Adams' car was good in the foam cannon. Trying to think. That's probably about it. I'm trying to think around some other companies, but I think those are some of the ones that I've tried that I've had the best luck with. So you don't waste your money trying to buy a bunch of crap. Yeah, the nozzles suck pretty bad, Dan. I'm always going to call you Lieutenant Dan because you're Lieutenant John. It will always be Lieutenant Dan. I don't even know if you're an officer in the military or you're a police officer or you just like the name Lieutenant John, but you will always be Lieutenant Dan because that's what immediately comes to mind when I hear Lieutenant because it's whatchamacallit, Tom Hanks. Zymel works well from the foam. Zymel, I love that car soap. But Zymel, you don't find their stuff anymore because of the fact that they just kind of went out of the American market, from what I understand. Turtle Wax owns a lot of the properties to a lot of the Zymel stuff. They actually own they kind of, I guess, they bought the rights to it, but they kind of disappeared off the American scene. K Market Gas. I've never heard of K Market Gas. Hey, Jaskar, what's going on, buddy? Not sure. No, we don't have those in Florida. I've never heard of them. Your major gas ones here, obviously Wawa is a big one now. It just started coming to Florida in the last like 5 years or more, 5 to 10 years. Wawas are going everywhere here. You can find where I am. I would say you can get Speedways everywhere because Speedway bought a Hess gas stations. So basically, it's still Hess gasoline, but Speedway actually runs the gas things. That was pretty interesting. I met one of the people. So Hess, if you know what Hess Gasoline is, the East Coast company, they would make toy trucks every Christmas. Well, I actually ran into we're at one of these toy things, and we actually ran into one of the head people that deals with Hess vehicles. He wrote a whole book about the Hess toy things, and he was telling us about it. He said the original, the actual owners of Hess did not want to sell it, and they were not happy, but the board sold them out up water. They didn't want to sell it they didn't want to sell it at all. But essentially it came down to these suckers got, absolute retarded amounts of money from Speedway to buy out the entire Hess thing. So Hess still produces and gets their own oil, but then, Speedway is the actual company that actually sells it or whatever. But I guess the Hess people the family did not want to sell it. They did not want to. They didn't need to. But I guess Speedway rolled in and was like, hey, CEO guys, other guys, come on over here. Let's talk for a bit. How much is it going to take for you guys to vote it out so that way we'll buy out the thing? Because you guys have if you guys all band together, you got like 51% of the vote.
Oh, that's going to take, maybe another $500 million or, $1 billion between you guys. We can make that happen for you. Here's some money. Make it happen for me. Here's $1 billion. You guys split it between yourselves or some shit like that. It was gnarly, but that's essentially why we lost Hess Gasoline. So we have Speedway basically. We have, what else is there? Sidco, if you can find it. We used to have Valero, but I haven't seen Valero in a while. Exxon, I've seen Exxon, or is it Mobil? It's one of the two. I know they're basically the same company. What else have I seen? BP used to be around a lot, but BP has disappeared a lot over the last 10 or 15 years. After their big oil spill, I don't really see many BP stations anymore. There's a few scattered, but not near as many as there was. Shell is everywhere around where I live. Shell, you can get it everywhere. Like Shell is right down the street from my house. It's normally where I fill up my cars. It's like 4 minutes away. But I'd say those are probably the main ones, unless you want to go to like some no-name brands. Obviously, you go Sam's, BJ's, or stuff like that. When I was in North Florida in the Panhandle, you can get Texaco, but you can't get Texaco down here. I've never seen Texaco down here, or Chevron, or not. Is it Texaco? Yeah, Texaco. I haven't seen Chevron down here in a long time, so it's like different parts of the world. You know how it is. They have their own things. Aaron Google's top tier gas. So it's like Whataburger. Certain states have different. So Whataburger is actually in North Florida. So Whataburger was always in like Pensacola and the Florida Panhandle, way up there. And then, by the way, Whataburger, guys, for you don't know, it's a fast food chain, and it's based out of Texas, and it basically it's slowly expanding. Now they have Whataburger in Tallahassee, and they have it in Jacksonville. About the last 10 or 15 years, they've had it up in, so all of North Florida along Interstate 10 all the way to where it ends in Jacksonville, Florida, has Whataburger, but it doesn't go anywhere south. So it's not anywhere central or nowhere South Florida. You don't have Whataburger. Yeah, Speedway is really blowing up. Speedways, I think, pretty sure they're based in Atlanta. I'm not in the military, but I like the nickname. It's catchy because my Firebirds have LT1 engine. Oh, okay. I just didn't know, man. Because some people, there's a lot of military subscribers that are in here with me. There's a lot of damn birds are awake some night. There's a lot of police officers that are subscribed to me, stuff like that. So, I just didn't know if that was your thing because you're a job. Speedway. Hess is not top tier gasoline, not on the list, not recommended. I guess, let's put it this way, guys. I've been driving cars since 1995. I've put in a mixture damn near everything in my cars, and I've never had any issues. When I had to redo the oil, the fuel filter about 2 months ago on my Prelude, that was the first time in history of owning all my cars I've ever had to do any fuel filters and stuff like that. I've never had an issue. And remember, the car is damn near 20 years old, so it's like, whoop-de-doo. It went bad, whoop-de-doo, no big deal. It's 20 years old. So I guess I use whatever's near me and I need gas, I just go for it. Because, again, I've been driving for 25 years, and I've used all kinds of crap, and I've never had any issues, put it that way. Yeah, we don't have Sinclair. I know Sinclair is a dinosaur thing. We don't have that here. Yeah, 7-Elevens are everywhere here. 7-Elevens here. Wawas are making huge inroads here in the Central Florida region, because Central Florida is full of like New York or New Jersey people, and that's where they're from, is Pennsylvania, that whole area, the tri-state area. So they're everywhere here. We have In-N-Out Burger. Yeah, we don't have In-N-Out Burger here in Florida. What is the one? Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box, the closest one I've ever seen was in Louisiana. Coming back from, I went to a car meet actually out in Austin, Texas. And I was on an Interstate 10 heading back in, and I crossed over Texas-Louisiana line, and I saw there was a sign for Jack in the Box, so I pulled over and got that food. That's the only time I've ever had Jack in the Box. It was pretty good, though, from what I remember. But that's the only place, the closest place I've ever seen Jack in the Box. Everything else is like a West Coast thing. Are you guys getting crushed? So it's essentially like, it is almost like Christmas. Now, the volume is down for businesses, obviously, because many businesses are closed. But the people are ordering more online, so it's kind of like it rivals Christmas, but they haven't had to rent any U-Hauls yet, or any like Penske trucks, those little Christmas things that they rent, the extra vehicles. However, the last couple of days, they've actually ran out of drivers. They don't have enough drivers, so I was told by the supervisor that's in charge of the drivers in one center. He said they had let 4 trucks full of packages sit there, and what they had to do is the supervisors had to help deliver, and what they did is they shuttled out They would meet guys on like routes near them and say, here's you take 30 stops or you take 40 stops. He takes 30 or 40. He takes 30 or 40, and that way that covers that route. So they have to stay out longer in order to get those packages delivered, because it's not like, oh well, we're just going to leave them until the next day, because obviously the next day then you have twice as many boxes sitting there. So they're trying to find anybody that is capable of driving right now. They're trying to make sure that they're not working in the building and they have their DOT recommended hours rested before they can go work the next day. So that's basically what's been going on now. They're actually out of drivers. About a week ago, they actually ran out of trucks. They had no trucks left. So that was pretty interesting. Like, they were literally out of trucks. They had no extra trucks left. So they were figuring out ways they could get stuff. They were having them come back in and pick up more boxes. It was crazy. It was stupid. It's all good. Anytime, buddy. Anytime, Dan. Ever used any graphene products? Not yet. Graphene we were talking about earlier before you came in here. That is going to be the new keyword of products that are coming out. I can almost guarantee you $500 bet that in this coming fall for the 2021 release, we are going to see every major brand launch at least one product of graphene. I can almost guarantee you the bet's on right now. You'll see it from every major brand. At least one product is going to drop. They'll have that. That'll be that kind of base for their product detailing stuff. That's the new keyword. Like ceramic is the keyword for the last 2 years now. We can walk through this stuff. What does 2020 have? 2020 ceramic wax from Mcguire's. Let's see what else we have. Ceramic detailer, and then they have the ceramic detailer that Dalton showed me. The ceramic detailer and the clay bar ceramic. I mean, every damn thing now is ceramic. So get ready for this, guys. I'm telling you right now, next year you'll start to see the beginning of the graphene phase, or whatever you want to, however you want to describe that as. It'll be something along that line where every company will have one, and then the following year for 2022, half the damn line will be that. Just get ready for it. Be ready, because I'm calling it right now that that's the new cool keyword, and everybody's going to want to jump on the hype train. Favorite Crown Burger. Yeah, we don't have Crown Burgers. I have no idea what that is. Sheets, don't know what that is, Dean. In our area, burger thing. So where we live in Florida, like, we have the typical McDonald's, Burger King, Arby's. What else do we have here? I'm trying to think, because I'm right on the edge of St. Cloud. St. Cloud is a lot closer to me than driving in towards Kissimmee, where like other brands would be. We have like Long John Silver's here. We have, I don't know. We just a lot of the basic stuff, that a lot of places have. But the thing is, with St. Cloud, they don't have enough selection because it's not that big of a city. It's blowing up pretty bad. It's like every bit of farmland and all of the old orange groves are being plowed under for new neighborhoods. It's wild if you come around here. It's just crazy the amount of building. But they don't want to widen any of the roads, which has been really hell. Thankfully, though, something called a virus came along and made everybody out of a job. So now I can actually drive around and enjoy life driving around Kissimmee. But normally driving around Kissimmee is a living nightmare. The traffic is so bad here that it sucks, okay? Like, you'll catch one green light and then the very next one will go red. When we moved here in 2012, you could get to Disney World from where I lived in about 25 minutes. By last year, it was averaging between 45 minutes and an hour to get to Disney World. I have not moved. It's the exact same house, but they've added so many stoplights along the way getting there, and there's so many new neighborhoods. I mean, they're literally, guys, they'll build a brand new neighborhood that can hold maybe 200 houses. Within 6 months, all 200 houses are built. They're building them that fast, and this is not even a joke. You guys can see this on satellite images. Within 6 months, the entire neighborhood of 250 houses are completely full. And now they're having to, there's more land. Everywhere I fly, when I take the plane up, all you see is neighborhoods just being plowed out. Like, new trees are just being wiped out just so they can build new neighborhoods. Obviously, this is going to hurt it. But I used to be able to make Disney in 25 minutes, and now it takes me 45 minutes to an hour on a normal day. Some days I might be able to get 35 minutes, and hey, that's good. We made it in 35 minutes. But when I moved here in 2012, the traffic was not as bad, and you could get there in about 25 minutes every day of the week, even less on better days. So, but they've added lights everywhere, and they don't want to widen the roads, so it just bogged it down so bad here. But that's what this. I guess that's the upside is here. is that gas prices are cheap and that we can actually drive around and get around places. Like I can take the main road to work now. The side road takes you all by the airport. I can be to work in 20 minutes now. I love it. I'm like, this is great. I speed like a maniac. I don't know about you all, but I have been crazy with this whole like thing because police don't even exist anymore around here. You never see them on the roads. You don't see them anywhere unless there's I guess an accident or something, like let's just say, or I guess crime going on. Literally, you never see them on the roads anywhere you go anymore. So it's like, deuces, I'm out. You said it was 45? Did you mean 65 miles an hour? And do I'll be like, boom, I'm gone, dude. I'm like, I'm out. It's been really nice being able to zip around town again. So, but obviously, I know it's not for the greater good. I know we have to. These people have got to get back to work. But it has been nice for the last couple of weeks to be able to get around town. California, we lost almost all of our mobile stations and cell stations. Wow, Shell is everywhere here, man. Shell is everywhere. We have 76. 76, I haven't seen them in a very long time either. Chevron and Arco. I haven't seen Arco before. Chevron has more cleaning additives, graphene is ceramic name. If you have a Smith's or Kroger's, we do not have either one of those. I know what Kroger is. Don't get me wrong. They're in like Tennessee and some place like that, in Georgia and stuff. But you don't have them in Florida. Popeyes. Yeah, we have Popeyes. Popeyes is in Kissimmee. So just head out on US 192, go that way, and it'll be right there. It's right by downtown Kissimmee. We also have KFC. So they have a KFC in St. Cloud, but there's no Popeyes is only over there by downtown Kissimmee. Supposedly it's better than the ceramic. It's better. I don't know. Snack and Gas 8, never heard of it. My life advice. See, this is fun. This is what we're getting to, which is to me is fun and hangouts. We're talking about just random stuff. We're getting to share our ideas. We're getting to actually talk about what you guys have in your area of the country we don't have. And to me, that's a lot of fun because we're getting to just enjoy each other's company, have a good time together, just sit back and relax. And I like doing this with you guys on the evenings. To me, it's a lot of fun. Uns apparently die on the news. Kim Jong-un's, they've been saying that for like last couple of days. I see cops on the road and their lights are turned off. They're trying to get into an accident. I know they're trying to be sneaky. I literally never see them. Okay, I've seen them twice. And it's weird because both times they were going to the same place and it was like 6 cops lit up in a row, like all in a row with all lights blazing and everything. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Both going to the same area, like towards the airport. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on? But that's the only time I've ever seen any cops. Other than that, I never see anybody anywhere. It's just like, since this has happened, it's like police have just disappeared. Not like I care, but I mean, it's just like, this is awesome, dude. I mean, I'm gone, man. I'm just like literally gone. Like, I'm like, deuces. Like, sometimes I'm just on the sport bike. I'm like, bitch, speed the hell up, man. It's 45. Why are you doing like 40 miles an hour? I'm just gone. I'm looking down I'm like, yeah, normally in the normal time of year, I'd be like, shit, I'm doing 60 in a 45. Here, I'm like, nah, who cares? There's no cops anyways. Yeah, I just keep on trucking along. I'm like, whatever, I'll slow down and stuff. I'm not a dumbass, but I'm not like freaking out if I see 60 on the odometer. I'm like, holy crap, I'm doing 15 over. There's no worry anymore because there's no cops around. So, and of course I have radar detectors on all my cars, but in the motorbike, I'm just like, nah, there's no cops. I'm going. Keystone Heights. Yeah, Keystone Heights. You're out in the country right there, Dean. You're way out there. Keystone Heights is a little town in Florida up by Gainesville. Shout out to Jane. Grew up by Kissimmee. Yeah. I have been in Kissimmee since 2012 when me and my wife got married and we came down here. I was in Pensacola, Florida before. I went to high school in Jacksonville, Florida. I lived in Clearwater, Florida for 1 year, and I was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in South Florida, and lived in Hollywood until I was almost 9. I was turning 9 in that summer, and then my parents moved us to Pensacola, Florida. So that was the way that went. And we were with a typical white flight out of South Florida. You'll learn about this in your college classes about how the white people all left the suburbs and stuff as like the more undesirable people came along and started moving into the neighborhoods and stuff, and the crimes would go down, and then the white people just move out. Yeah, my parents left South Florida because it all went downhill. I remember we came home from church one day and I was like, I don't know, like 6 years old, and they broke into our back window and they basically cleared out all the jewelry, anything that was worth value they took out. My parents were robbed 3 times in the 20 years they were down there in that area. 3 different times their house was broke into. My dad had a job offer to go to Pensacola. He was like, I'm gone. Everybody was leaving out of South Florida. It was going downhill, and just there was no reason to stay down there anymore. So our family moved. They can jam radars, so useless. They cannot jam radars. They cannot jam radars. So they only have radar guns, or they have laser guns, Dalton. So lidar guns, I should say, would be, but it's using laser. You can jam laser all day long, like all day long, but you have to have laser jammers installed on your car, and there's about $1,000 for a good setup. But we don't use a lot of laser around where I live. Everybody uses usually Ka band radar, so it's really easy to pick up. Like if there's anybody anywhere near me with like the Uniden R3s that I run, you pick them up from miles away, and it's just like by then it's like I'm just cruising. Or if I'm driving around normally in my cars, I always have the Waze app running on, so usually, especially if it's like on an interstate or something like that, you know the cops are already pointed out, 10 miles before you even get to them. You can see this the little blue blip on the thing that shows that it's a cop, 6 miles before you're even near it. So you have time to slow down and do like 73 miles an hour as you're passing them, and you're just doing 85. So it's like, but other than that, majority of where I am at is all Ka band. And like when I was in South Florida, I've seen laser, lidar. Some of the little dinky winky towns use lidar, but again, you can jam laser if you have the proper setup. So again, you just have to spend the money. But then again, you just have to, as soon as it goes off and you jam it, hit your speed down, and then turn off the jammer. That's all you gotta do. There's all kinds of videos on it. If you're interested in radar detectors and in depth, look up a guy named Vortex Radar. Vortex Radar will be your person you want to go to. He'll break down. He tests out everything under the sun, and he has every single detector, every single radar gun. He does all scientifically. So if you're ever interested in videos like that, go check it out. No drinks tonight. No, actually, my throat is really sore tonight. I should probably go get a drink. I've been drinking a lot this week. Like, we've been trying to clean out the refrigerator, clean out some extra stuff, and I'm like, look at all this Bacardi rum and stuff. So I've been drinking a lot of mixed drinks lately because I'm like, you know what? We need to clean out some room in the refrigerator since we're buying so much stuff lately. I've just been like, look at all this stuff. We should probably go through it all and just start drinking it all versus just leaving it to sit there in the refrigerator. So I've been drinking a lot of rum and stuff like that. Just trying to clear out the fridge. I'm like, fuck it, why not? But all I'm doing is sitting around. I don't have to take my son to school in the morning. I'm not going to flight school the next day. So if I have a couple of drinks, it's not going to bother me. I just go to sleep anyways, and that's fine. If I obviously with my getting up in the morning, take my son to school, I would never drink or anything like that. That's just stupid. But if I know I'm just going to be sleeping in anyways, and I don't have to go to work till the following evening, what's the harm in taking a few drinks? You know what I mean? Florida's Thugville. There's some really ghetto parts of Florida, like really ghetto parts. Jacksonville is really, really ghetto. Murder capital of Florida is Jacksonville. per capita and per big city, Jacksonville beats out Miami, Tampa, Orlando, and all. But Tampa is very ghetto in parts of Tampa. There's Fort Myers. Fort Myers is really bad in parts of Fort Myers. Obviously, you got your other area, I guess you want to call it, a lot of crime in Miami and stuff like that, parts of Miami. So, but if you go out into the country or in smaller towns, you don't have any problems. Not like that, anyways. White flight. Yeah, it's a term. You should look up white flight. Yes, David, I've heard a lot about that, about me looking like David. I'm sorry, Rob Dyrdek. Yes, I've heard a lot of people say that. You're not the only one. But yeah, it's a term called white flight, where the white people move out further and further into the suburbs. The term is usually black people or less desirables are usually moving in. It's just the way it is. Let's just say the less desirables are moving into your neighborhood, and the neighborhood's value is starting to go down, and crime is starting to pick up. Well, that's when white people say deuces, I'm out, and they leave. As a matter of fact, my parents left when we left South Florida. I mean, your house got broke into 3 times in 20 years. It's time to leave. And so my dad, I remember. My story was second grade? I was in second grade. I remember the bus dropped me off, and I got off, and I'm like, oh man, look at all these flowers and all these balloons. And I got there, and my mom was like, Mom, look what's out there, flowers and balloons. My mom went and picked it up, and because my dad was out of town, he was up in Pensacola for a business meeting, and he sent my mom flowers and a card and all this stuff, and I didn't know anything about it. So I was like, oh, Mom, check out the stuff. I still remember it to this day. And so we took it in, and my mom opened up the card on the flowers and stuff, and he said, congratulations, you're married to whatchamacallit now. And basically that was my dad's way of telling my mom that he took a job up in Pensacola, Florida, without asking her.
that didn't go over so good, guys. Don't do that. If you're married, don't do that, because that was probably the beginning of the end for my parents' relationship. My mom did not want to leave South Florida. She was in the mindset, let's stay, maybe go find a new area of South Florida, like out of Hollywood, Florida, maybe towards like, Davie, a little bit more like nicer areas, let's put it that way, but maybe like just leave Hollywood itself, because Hollywood's kind of like a ghetto. They call it Hollywood, let's put it that way. Southern Floridas call it Hollywood because it's so many problems down there now. So yeah, my dad took a job without asking my mom. That caused a lot of grief in the family for many years, and I think that was about the beginning of the end, because it kind of like told my mom that, look, he doesn't care what you think, he's going to do whatever he wants, and that's just the way it is. So you either go along with it or leave. And I think that's what kind of happened. Then we went to Jacksonville after that, and my mom was just like, whatever, and you could tell things were getting really bad by then. Like, I'd come home from school and they'd be like yelling at each other. And I'm like, I don't want to be anywhere around this stuff. I'm going to go down the street to my friend's house. Okay, bye. And that was kind of the way it was. So make sure when you guys are married, don't just jump on that thing and take a job and move your whole family without asking the other person. You should always talk to them. So that's the way it should go. Asian girls are hot. Not many here. Dude, all I got to do is go to California. What?
I want a jelly sandwich.
You want a jelly sandwich?
Yeah.
My son wants a jelly sandwich. He just came out in his underwear. Hold on, guys. We need to see what's going on here. All right, buddy. Where are you at? Have you been out here the whole time? Have you been out here the whole time? You weren't in Mommy's room, were you? Don't go in Mommy's room. Mommy's sleeping. You want jelly?
Yeah.
Here. Come here. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Hi, guys. No, they can't see you, buddy. They can't see you. Here. Here.
Hi, guys.
Hi. There. Look at all the Disney stuff. All the pass holder stamps. There you go. They said hi to you, Nathan. All right, so let me hold on, guys. I'm going to make him a jelly sandwich really quick, by the way. Alaska, Disney World, cruise line. We're there. All right, so you want a jelly sandwich. All right, hold on, buddy. Give me a second. Bear with me, guys. What's going on here? Hold on, buddy. Hold on. I can still see what you guys are saying, by the way, yeah? Can you say, you guys? I would love to. Give me a second. Hold on, buddy. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Gonna make him a quick sandwich real quick. Hi, buddy. All right. Let's give you some peanut butter. And then we'll put some honey on it, or some jelly on it. We'll be good to go. Here we go. Dad life. You want a lot of peanut butter or a little peanut butter?
A lot.
Okay. I'll get you a lot of peanut butter. There we go. Oopsie. There we go. All right. I'm going to see what kind of jelly we have, buddy, okay? We'll go from there. You want some strawberry jelly? Strawberry?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's put some strawberry jelly on this bad boy. Squeeze. Crap. Come out. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Cut. And this jam does not want to come out. Holy cow. Like, it is thick. Ah, screw it. You know what? Let's do it old school style. There we go. So there we go. Sorry about this, y'all. Hey, buddy, you can't go wake up Mommy, okay? All right, don't do that, please. Mommy has to work in the morning. You went fast? Cool. All right, come here. Come get it. There you go, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Put this back in the refrigerator. Oh, yeah. The Thumbs up for dad. Thumbs up for dad. 1 second. I'm going to get myself a drink since I'm already out here anyways. Drinks. We have our own bar here. Let's go with this, man. Let's go with this. This'll work. Look. Drinks. We have a lot. Cherry Pepsi. All right, continue on. Sorry about this, guys. But gotta take care of my son because my wife's already asleep. So he just came out in the garage and wanted to hang out and say hi. And he's like, I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I said, no problem. I'll get you, buddy. All right, so my bad about that, guys. How's Nathan feel about no school? I think he misses his friends. He misses his teacher a lot. I know that. He'll mention her name. But it's sad because the Florida schools are canceled for the rest of the school year, which really sucks. To me, in my opinion, the Florida school system should just reopen up school for like an extra month. You know, have it last until, let's say, July to make up for those days that have missed. Because it's like, okay, what are these kids gaining? Sure, they're doing virtual school, but they're not really learning a lot. They haven't been to real school in over a month now. And now you're going to give them another month off. I mean, just make them go back from the end of May all the way through like beginning of July, middle of July. They've already had a whole month off of school. Just catch up because, like I told my wife, I said, this is going to ripple for years because they're not learning stuff now, or they're only halfway learning it because they're trying to learn online on a computer for these upper grade kids. And then what happens if you don't learn very good on the computer? Oh, well, you're supposed to roll right into the next grade in the fall here and expect to know these things. And it's going to be a real pain in the butt for the teachers, sadly. We should get up and clean. No. Actually, Dalton, that's probably the cleanest you will ever see our house. Hasn't been that clean in a long time, buddy. Thank you for noticing me. Oh, dude, I always will notice you, buddy. I will always notice you. I love you guys. Huge as. Yes. Damn, man, got more and more drinks than me. Dude, you have no idea how many things of Coke. So anytime there's like a sale on Coke, maybe like 3 for $10 or 4 for $12 kind of thing at one of the stores, we usually do that. Some of those Cokes that were up there and stuff were like some of the rare Mountain Dews or rare drinks like that, where they only come out one time a year, and we might buy like 5 cases of them. That way it'll last us for a while. So, you know, if it's only like a seasonal drink or whatever, and we're like, dude, this drink's really good, I'll buy like 4 or 5 cases of it. So that way it'll last me throughout the rest of the year. Essentially, like when, I'll give you an example, when Game Fuel used to come out with Mountain Dew every like fall, I would just buy like 5, 6, 7 cases of that stuff because I know I wouldn't see it the rest of the year. And if I wanted Game Fuel, that's what I would do. And he's like, oh, well, it goes bad like 4 months later. I would still drink it and it didn't affect me any. Let's put it that way. Now I can hear my son running around outside. Brain pop teach more than an actual teacher. I try and teach my son everything I can. Oh, we have a bunch of Baja Blast, by the way. We bought a ton of it when it came back. I actually have some of the old school stuff. Yeah, we try and teach my son as much as I can. I'll give you an example. Every night before I go to bed now, I show him like a digital clock, not like one with the hands or anything on it, but I show him a digital clock and I say, can you tell me what time it is? Remember, he just turned 4 in March, and I try and get him to understand the numbers. I'll give you an example. I take him on my little Honda Grum, little tiny 125 bike, and I ride and I say, okay, what speed are we doing? How fast are we going? Because, you have the speedo and digital numbers. And I say, this is why you need to understand that numbers are important. And it's better for you now to start understanding how to read the numbers now versus having to wait till you're 5, 6, 7, 8 when you're learning these bigger numbers. You need to learn them now and understand why they're being used. I said, look, the tachometer, the tachometer, he doesn't know what that is. I said, look, those are numbers. I said, your speedo is in numbers. I said, the time of the day that's on the bike is in numbers. How many gallons, how many miles you've driven is in miles, as in numbers. I said, these are things you've got to know, buddy. He says he loves to go ride on the motorcycle. So I make him try and do numbers. He knows how to turn the motorcycle on. He knows how to do the stuff. I let him drive my cars. I let him sit on my lap and drive around the neighborhood. And I let him basically do a lot of stuff that, some parents, they probably wouldn't let their kids do, but I don't believe in that. I'm like, expose them to as much as you can.
teach him now so that when it is time the teacher's teaching him, he's going to be so far ahead of it. It's just like he's bored. The same thing happened to me. I was so far ahead in school that I always was bored in school. I didn't really want to be there, but it's the way life goes. My dad, like you, by his selling case 3 for sure, man. Well, Game Fuel it's a cherry citrus flavor that Mountain Dew makes about usually every fall. They usually will tie it to a game, whether it's like a Call of Duty, a Halo. I remember they had a World of Warcraft edition where you either pick the Alliance side, which would be the blue flavor. It was really good. And then they had the citrus, which would be the Horde flavor. I mean, this basically they would come out every fall and they would run it for like 3 months, and you could only get it during those 3 months. So what I always would do is just buy buttloads of cases of stuff so that when I want to drink them, maybe like 2 or 3 cans a week or something like that, or like 5 cans a week, whatever it would be, that I would have enough to last me for a long time. Down in that little area right there, you just saw where my drinks are. I probably have 20 of the 20-ounce bottles of Crystal Pepsi that I bought like a year ago. I haven't even gone through them all because I just never made it through them. I've got Surge in there. I've got I've got some other energy drinks in there. I don't have any balls. I need to go get some more balls though. I love balls, by the way. If you guys don't know me, you're old school, you know I like balls energy drink. Tried G Fuel. I think I have, but I can't remember, buddy. Honestly, I'm buying more Coke products lately myself now. It's bad for me. I know it because my stomach, I got a little bit of a belly here. In the last probably about 5 or 6 years, I've probably gotten a little bit fat on me, and I need to worry about that. But like for a while, like in the spring here, I was drinking nothing but water every day. And it was very hard for me to even drink a half a can of Pepsi or a Coke. It was really weird. Like I really wouldn't want it. It was good, but it wasn't like how's the word? I could drink it all. It was just like, man, that's so much drink. Like a half a can, I was like, it's too much drink. Like I was drinking nothing but water, and I was starting to like every other night I was doing like push-ups, sit-ups, and all kinds of stuff. And then I'd go maybe run around the neighborhood, the circle here in my neighborhood, and man, I could tell like I was starting to shed weight. I was like, yeah, I can tell I drink way too many Cokes, and I need to get back on that. I wanted to lose weight and get back down to like 160s again. Like I'm right now probably like 175, 178 on a given day, and I was down to 172, and I was like, I can start to see it's starting to get better. I'm losing the weight again. So I'd like to see myself in like the 160s, but yeah, I've got a bit of a belly I don't like. Teaching him that kids nowadays to their iPads. Yeah, my son, don't get me wrong now, Pooh. My son is addicted to the iPad. Addicted to it. Okay, and it does help out with us a lot, but he does a lot of these learning games. A lot of games that he does are learning where he has to figure stuff out, which to me is good because he's already getting the reasoning and how to figure stuff out now. And I like that about it. So, you know, that's always good. Where did you buy Surge? I bought it at, where did I buy it at? Racetrack. The gas station Racetrack, you guys know? I don't know if you know. It's an Atlanta company as well. Racetrack usually would have the big, what are they? They're 16-ounce cans, the really tall ones, you know what I'm talking about? And I would go in there and buy like 5 cans at a time. But again, I really started trying to cut out on a lot of sodas and stuff. I know I've gotten back into it, but I really stopped buying the stuff because I would go up to every time if I was just getting gas, whatever at Racetrack, I would go there and then I would, you know, walk in their little store and I'd buy like 5 cans at a time. And then, you know, maybe drink 1 can a night while I was playing video games. But I was like, you know, I've just, like I said, as of last year, I decided to start changing my life up a little bit, changing the way things were. I wasn't happy with my life. I wasn't happy with my job anymore. I wanted to change. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to start changing my life. And I had to take the first step. Obviously, I started going to flight school. I started to start cutting out a lot of things. I decided that's why I didn't make as many YouTube videos for you guys because I was really trying to change my own life for me, be better. And, you know, I knew I had to really just concentrate on the studying, concentrate on the flight school, really get those terms down and all the things I needed to have because I didn't want to really screw up. One, you're paying a ton of money for flight school, a ton of money. But I'm serious about it from what I understand. And when you go for a job interview, now I don't know if it's true or not, but what somebody said, when you go for a job interview, they pull up all of your exams. So every test that you've had is in the FAA sites. They can pull it up and see what grades you have. And if you have higher grades, then it's obviously a better thing for you because obviously you're doing better. So you look better than a candidate that's just getting barely a C on their thing. They're just skimming by with a 70. And to pass the written exam, I got a 97 on my actual written exam for my private pilot. And I want to kind of keep keeping those 90s. So when I do go to apply for a job, I'm going to be like, man, this guy's serious. He's not screwing around about this. You've been demonetized. He's just running around doing his thing. He was in the pool and stuff like that, so I'm like, whatever. He's a man, and if a man wants to be topless, he can be topless. All right, I'm not the 21st century like little whatever guy. My son, like, no, he's a man. He wants to be topless and run around and go outside topless and be in the pool. I have no issues with that. None. I will not tell him that. I'm definitely one of the people that don't believe in, like, what do they call it? Like a helicopter parent. It's always, don't do this, Johnny, don't do this. You'll never see me like that. I will not let him get himself into trouble. I will never let that happen because he might not know, and I'll try to protect him. But like doing little things, he needs to experiment and see what it is for himself, and like go out there and do what you want to do. That's the way I see it. 210. Damn, son. Yeah, when I got married, I was 155 pounds, right around there. I'm 177 to 178 on a given day. Some days maybe less. But I'm like, yeah, I've gotten really fat over the last 6 or 7 years. I need to really, really change myself. As a matter of fact, when my wife was like 150 something pounds, right after we got married, she was actually starting to get big. And then she had my son, and she instantly lost like 25 pounds after having Nathan. And it took her a long time. She's only weighs like 137 now, so she lost a ton of weight because she was actually getting pretty fat. Like, and you see it. I see it in the wedding pictures. Like, she's been cleaning so much lately, and I'm like, man, this is nice. Like, she actually put the wedding book out on the coffee table in the nice living room area, and now I look through it, and you can see it. You can see she's big here. She's big in her starting to see that she was, starting to put on some weight now. I can look at her and be like, yeah, you lost a ton of weight. I can see it. So I'd like to get down there a little bit too as well. 2010, I'm 75. Yeah. If you're just gonna go out there, all you gotta do is just go run. As long as you get a sweat working up and you go run a mile and you build up to 2 miles, build up to 3 miles, you're gonna be burning that weight like that. I'm serious. When I did the Army ROTC for the university those 3 years, I remember going in for a weigh-in. You had to do every month. And I would be like 138, 139 pounds. I mean, that's it. I was so damn skinny. Because all you're doing is running 2 or 3 days a week with them. You're doing the push-ups, sit-ups, all the other physical activities. That I was super, super skinny. But I could go forever. Like endurance-wise, I had abs, I had arms, and everything. I was just really skinny, though. It was crazy. Fortnite. Yeah, my son doesn't play any games like that. It's just those little freebie games that he gets from the Google Play Store. Flying is awesome. Flying is probably some of the best things I've ever done. I've always wanted to be a pilot, but again, I was told from a young age that if I didn't have 20/20 vision, I'd never be a pilot. And then I was like, you just see the older men with glasses and they're flying, but they were like, oh, well, you can fly, but you'll never be a commercial airline pilot because they only hire people out of the military to be airline pilots, and then they obviously have to have 20/20 vision to be an airline for a military pilot. So clearly they only have 20/20 vision as well. So they were like, it's a waste of time for you to go get your private pilot's license because you'll never fly commercially. So I was lied to my whole life growing up, and it would have probably changed my entire life. I would have probably been a commercial airline captain by now, and I would have taken a different way in life, totally. But who knew until I was older? I started. We take all these flight places, and I finally ran. I remember flying to Illinois, and there was a young guy. He might have been mid to late 20s, and he had glasses on. He was the first officer of the plane, and he was out there standing in the gateway. And we walked off one of the last, and I said, "Hey man, can I ask you a question?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "They don't care if you have glasses." He's like, "No, not at all." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "They don't care at all as long as you have glasses on that brings it up to 20/20 or whatever. Or you have contacts in." And I was like, "Oh man, I thought you had to have." I said, "So were you military? Were you ex-military?" He said, "No." I was like, I just went to a flight school and did my thing, and then I applied and I got this regional airline job for American Airlines." And I'm like, "Really?" It clearly shocked me. I was like, "Damn it, really?" So I wish I would have known as a younger person. I think that's one of the big things that I started a YouTube channel, but I haven't done much with it. I only have my solo flight on it, and I think I want to really get it out there that people like, hey man. Just because get the rumors out, because the rumors are wrong about so many things, and it would have probably definitely changed my life, because I would have went straight to flight school as soon as I had the chance as a young man, not waited 20 years. How you doing, Brian? What's going on, buddy? ROTC is Reserve Officer Training Corps. So after you finish college and you do the ROTC program, through the college program, you will graduate and you'll become an officer in the Army, Navy, whatever branch you're in. I was in the Army ROTC at the University of West Florida. So basically, after you go and you get your diploma at the big civic center, then you come back and they have a special pinning ceremony, which you go up there and you swear your oath into the army, and then they put the bars, the gold bars or butter bars, as people like to call them, on your shoulder. So now you're a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. So I was 1 year away from that, and that's when they gave me the runaround because of my eyes, and I was just like drug around forever, and I was like, whatever, dude. And that's what happens. Otherwise, I would have been in the Army. Might join the Navy after college in a few years. People who go in the Navy, lucky because they can travel all the time. Honestly, all branches are going to let you travel, all of them. I was going in the Army because I didn't want to be in the Navy and get stuck on a boat somewhere, but I was going to ask for overseas. As a matter of fact, I've stayed on Vincenza Army Base in Italy, northern Italy. It's up by Venice. I have been on Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany. That's badass. They have bases all over Japan, Korea. You can travel all over with just regular bases. You don't have to just be in the Navy to travel. And that's what's cool about that. I mean, like if you have a family or whatever, unless it's Korea, you can take your family with you to Japan. You can take your family with you to Germany. You can go to England. All these bases around the world, you can take your family with you. There's only a few places that you're not allowed to take your family with you. So that's what's really cool. Dude got a fire pilot gift for his birthday accidentally. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, who that? What? How do you even pull the ejection handles? I mean, they're bright yellow. It's like, how do you know what you're doing when you're driving those bad boys? It's like, it's not like you don't know what you're doing. So what's going on? Favorite mobile brand? I usually, in most of my cars, I have Mobile One Syntec. But like the cars that I'm like really worried about, like GTR and stuff like that. I think the GTR actually now has AMS oil. I think that's what the GTR specialist place uses, is AMS oil. But I had Mobile One always in my GTR. On my 370Z, I had Mobile One. I think it's only Mobile One they're using in the Civic Type R. Yeah, the Civic Type R uses Mobile One. I had used Mobile One in my Prelude as well. Air Force Base is like 5-star hotel. It's very nice. So when I was on Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany, I went and visited a friend, and I got to go on Ramstein for 2 or 3 days. That base might as well been an American city. It was. So you're in Germany, but then you go into the base gates, and it's like you're just going down to a regular street in America, and there's like, oh, there's McDonald's, oh, there's Burger King, oh, there's this, oh, there's that, and you're just on the regular road. And it's like, what? You go to like a 4-lane divided road in there. I remember that. They had the commissary with all the food. They had car dealerships, like really small, tiny car dealerships. They only had a few cars in there, but they said they can get you any car you wanted from the States. They had a Harley Davidson dealership there when I was there. I mean, it was like a full-on American city in the middle of Germany. It was crazy. Yeah, Air Force bases are pretty damn nice. I've been on Hurlburt Field before, which is the Air Force one up there in the Panhandle, Florida. I've been on Eglin Air Force Base. Obviously, it's right next to it. I've been on the Army base up there in Fort Drum, New York. I've been in Fort Benning in Georgia, where the infantry, home of the infantry, where the parachute training is at. I've been up there before. I've been to Fort Rucker, Alabama, where they train all the helicopter pilots for the Army. Yeah, it's been pretty cool. Cost of driving getting crazy between vehicle cost and insurance. Dude, I'll tell you what I'm not happy about, but I'm not trying to call Progressive right now. I've had Progressive since 2003. So I'm like, what do they call it? Like Diamond or Platinum or something like that. I'm like right at the top tier. Anywho, they raised our insurance policy this time. So now with all, how many vehicles we have, I am paying for my cars, $503 a month now. It is out of control. We were only paying like $480 before. Now, mind you, the cars are all older, and I still haven't had any accidents or anything, but they raised the prices, and I don't know why. So I was going to call them and ask them, and all this stuff started happening. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to call, because I'm sure a lot of people are calling to get postponements, trying to find ways they don't have to pay their payment this month. Everything I paid this month, all the bills I've already paid this month, there's a link for how to ask for some kind of like reprieve for a month or something like that on your bills. Push it back by a month, and have them work with you. So I was like, I don't really want to try and get on with some huge long phone call just to ask them, why is my premium has gone up when the cars are getting older, so it should be cheaper, and I don't have any accident or no claims, so why the hell does it keep going up? So I don't know. I thought about taking the insurance off some of these cars that I'm not driving, but I just think it's too much of a pain. I don't know. But yeah, $503 a month is just getting a little ridiculous. White Sands, New Mexico. Yeah, that's where they test all the rockets and stuff. Air Force drill sergeant said the airmen more. You're right. I would not believe that at all. In California, we're getting back 2 months of premium due to the shutdowns. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I just paid the house payment on Thursday. My wife gets paid every 2 weeks, and she basically foots the house bill. And it had a big link on there about it. My car payment is through one of the local credit unions here, and they automatically gave every loan that they gave, depending on what kind of loan you had to the credit union, a 1 month reprieve. But I went ahead and paid it anyways because it said, look, you're still going to get charged interest for that month, but you don't have to make a payment for a month. So they said, if you could still make the payment, please make it, because you're building interest still on it. And I was like, yeah, it's just going to push it a month later than getting paid off. So I went ahead and made my payment on the Civic Type R. I wasn't going to screw around. I made a giant payment on the credit card with them, like a huge payment on the credit card. Because I was like, yeah, no. Let's cut out almost as much as we can of the bills, especially if this drags on another month. She gets paid for each patient she sees, and if she's not seeing patients, then we're not making money. And how can we pay our house payment and stuff? Fortunately, this month will be fine. We made it. We have money in the account still. We have money in savings account in case we get an emergency situation, but I don't want to get into it. So we've just seriously cut down our spending. Wanted to get a vehicle painted. They wanted $10,000. Ooh, that is expensive, brother. You should be paying more than $4 to $5 grand for a good quality one, unless it's some exotic paint job. I'll give you an example. I've been looking. You guys know to buy an airplane, and some of the airplanes I'm looking at, the paint is in pretty crap. It's like straight up 1960s, 1970s paint. It's usually all faded off or chipped off or flaking off. And so I contacted a couple paint places. It ranges anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000 to repaint an average size little single engine airplane. Because what they have to do is planes from like the 60s and 70s, they have to strip them down because I think it's like lead-based paint or something. So it's extra crap. So they use like a chemical thing to strip the chemical thing. It literally looks like it's melting. It's pretty crazy when you see it. And I decided, I was like, yeah, maybe. And what I've learned now after doing so much research, people said buy a plane that already has everything done to it. Good paint, already has good radios. The interior's probably been updated, new carpets, new seats, coverings over the seats and stuff like that. They said don't get yourself into a project plane because you're just going to sink so much money into it. Sure, you look at it and say, well, man, it's $20,000 cheaper. Okay, well, if you're paying 12 to 15 grand for a new paint job, well, there's 15 already. It's like, oh, there's that. Oh, you want to get new GPS? Well, that's $10,000. Well, now I'm already over it. So they said get one that already has lower engine time on it, and then it has what's it called? Already has some of those things you want on it. Don't try and like add stuff to it. My mom's insurance with me on it would be $300 plus a month. It's $200. Yeah, it's. Obviously, we don't have any young kids in there, and I have the multi-car policy with Progressive. I have the multi-policy of discount with them because I have the motorcycles. Both motorcycles are insured through the Progressive motorcycle policy that I have with them. So I'm like scratching my head like, these cars are old, except for the Type R and the GTR. Why did you suddenly raise it? It was $480 every month for all last year, and then this year when it just re-ups a month ago, now it's up to $508 a month, and I'm like, $508 or whatever it is. I'm like, why? I haven't had any claims. I haven't had any accidents. The cars are older. So why is the price going up? I don't know. I guess I need to bring up both of them to see. But that's why I wanted to sit down and talk to these people. Cheaper by classic car, building your own. Yeah, I could see that. It really is. As long as it's in good shape. And the same thing with the plane. Like all the planes I'm looking at are from the 60s and 70s. I mean, I couldn't even afford a plane. A plane from the 90s, like a Piper or something, you're over $100 grand. If you're in the 2000s, you're well over $100 grand, 150, 200 grand for a like early 2000s plane. They're just so expensive. A brand new like a Cherokee would be $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 for a brand new one. And it's like the only thing I can afford, what most people afford, are planes from like the 60s and 70s because they've been fully updated and it's a lot cheaper in the end. I mean, you could put a brand new damn engine in it for 20 grand, and it's like I have a brand new fully certified engine in it with warranty. And it was just 20 grand. All I had to do is, a lot of guys, they will do those kind of things. They'll buy a plane with an engine that's all just ran out, and they'll just dump the whole thing and just gut it, like we talked about, and then they dump 50, 60, 70 grand into the plane, and you're like, oof. And that's why people are saying just get one that already has most of the stuff you need in it, so you don't have to go invest anything more. You're stuck at home, but utilities are going up. Yeah, our power bill last month was, I think, $277. I just paid it a couple weeks ago. It was $277. So it was a little bit higher than last month, but it was only about like $50 more a month. I've noticed though that it's obviously getting much hotter in Florida. We've hit 90s on several days already, so the air conditioners are running more, and so that's of course going to push up the bill some as well. Honda plane's super expensive. I won't even try that stuff, man. Like I'm looking at a Pipers, or I like the Moonies. The Moonies are, if you can look up a Moonie, they're really good. Oh, who's coming out here now? What are you doing, buddy? Go put some clothes on. Go put some clothes on. What are you doing? Listen to me. Go put some clothes on. Go put some shorts on and go put a shirt on, okay? He's in underwear, by the way, guys. Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right, go put some shorts and a shirt on, and then you can come back out here, okay? Bye. All right. Yeah, I don't want him out here like all running around like basically naked. Not like I care, because he's a man. Man wants to swing around in his drawers. He can swing around. You know what I mean? Los Angeles 100. Yeah. The thing is, going out west and stuff. Like they don't have the humidity out west, so it's like it's nice. Like when I was in Arizona last year for that thing, we stayed in Scottsdale for the turtle wax thing. Dude, it was so cool at night. I was like, what the crap? It was like almost jacket weather. And during the day it was like 80 something degrees, and they're like, it's really hot. I'm like, what? 80 something degrees with no humidity is hot? This is wonderful. I love it here. I mean, the people there were so funny because they were like, oh, it's so hot. Oh, let's take this inside, guys. And I'm like, Jesus, oh my God, it's so cool. And then at night, it drops like this low 60s, the desert, thing. And I'm like, it's cold. What the hell, man? It's such a crazy swing in temperature in one day. I was like, wow, the temperature dropped. But, to hear them say that, oh, it's so hot. I'm like, there's no humidity out here. You're in the desert. It's not even hot. What, buddy? Hold on, I gotta check. What?
What do you say?
Go put some shorts on and put a shirt on. Literally, I just told him this, and he's still. That's what we're kind of worried about. You can tell him something, and literally 2 seconds later, he's like, "What did you say?" I don't know. And you're like, "But you just repeated it." I don't know what you said, and I'm like, "Wow, are you okay? Did a bug go up my nose or something?" Like I swear, it feels like a bug went up my nose. It's like itching, crazy. Oh well. Nothing but rain here in Ohio. Waiting to get the first bike ride of the year. It doesn't look like we're gonna get it summer. Dude, I've been riding like crazy. Man, I'm telling you, because I don't have to, she's barely seeing any patients. So she's getting home at like 3:30 every day. Normally she gets home at like, 6 o'clock, 6:30 every night. So for her being 3 hours early, put the shorts on, please. Sit down and put them on. For her getting home at 3:30, I can take the motorcycles to work. So I've been taking like this DX6R to work. I take the Grom to work. The Grom's parked on the other side.
A bug on the wall.
So you're outside and the garage door is open. Is that bug gonna hurt you? No, it's not. So you don't have to worry. There's bugs everywhere here. He freaks out about some bugs, and I'm like, whatever. Like yesterday, there was a leaf bug. I don't know how it was in Publix. We were out there shopping. And it was on the side of it was on the cart. That's where it was on the cart, the shopping cart. And he was in the shopping cart. He's like, oh, there's a bug. I'm like, it's not going to hurt you. It's a little bug, insect, a little leaf bug. I forgot what they're called. And so I put my hand on it, and I was like showing him it's not going to hurt me. And then the bug crawled on my hand. I'm like, see, here, look. And he was, I'm like, dude, it's not going to hurt you. So I put the bug down and let him go fly off. And I'm like, wow, dude. So I'm trying to like man him up, as it were, so he's not scared, knows that these things aren't going to hurt him. It's just a bug, no big deal. Aaron, enjoy your night, buddy. 38 degrees, Jesus. No, it feels great because, again, we had rain again today. We had rain yesterday. We had thunderstorms on Friday. Yeah, we're getting thunderstorms again now. That's the second time I've seen thunderstorm now where it's like lightning. I'm like, whoa. So you can tell it's almost the summertime here. It feels wonderful this evening with the garage door open. Wonderful. It's like low 70s right now. It's awesome. What, buddy?
Which way?
Other way. It's inside out. It's inside out.
Can you
Why do you... Hold on, guys. I got to help him out. Can you help me? I can't help you any.
So, what did I tell you? Put your hand in here. Go to the back, like this. Pull it out like that. See? And you gotta pull your arms out, right? Blink. Blink. And then, do that. I don't know, this shirt might be too small. I don't know.
No.
No? It's not too small? Alright. Arms in. Maybe too small.
No.
Alright, there you go, buddy. Then you gotta put the collar down.
Yeah.
There you go. Alright.
You have pants on. Wow. This is his selection, guys. By the way, he's matching, by the way, guys. So for you guys that don't... Here, stand back against the car so I can show everybody. He picked this out himself. A nice Nautica shirt with some nice khaki pants. Literally, it matches. He did this. I didn't go and pick this out. You guys know that. He picked out his own stuff and it actually matches.
Yeah. I like these.
Yeah, you like him? You want to tell anybody anything?
Hi.
That's all you want to tell them?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
Yeah.
What about Tom Superhero?
Tom Superhero.
You like that?
Yeah.
That's a game. It's one of the games he likes to play. I don't know.
I keep hitting stuff.
Oh yeah, don't hit stuff. That's not good.
No. I keep saving the... I saved once superhero, the pink one.
Oh, you saved the pink superhero?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
See, he has a little bit of a speech, like a thing, where he kind of like stutters through a little bit, like stuff. But he can still figure out how to do everything. It's just the way he gets through stuff. It's really like chopped up English or whatever.
I need to get some more diamonds and...
You see how that he pauses and he stops?
Diamonds and coins for that game.
Well, you're gonna have to go get them, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. I have to play that game, Mom, Daddy.
All right, you got to go play it then if you want.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna go play it right now? All right. Have fun, okay?
My battery's red, Mom.
Well, then make sure it's plugged in, okay?
It's not.
Well, you better go plug it in, all right?
Daddy did it.
No, I'm not gonna do it. You go plug it in, or you just don't play it for now. Oh, push. All right, buddy. There you go, guys. Now you get to see what I deal with all the time. He always wants to play on the iPad. Night Owl training. Yeah, dude, he's gonna be ready for those major video game tournaments and stuff like that. You know, here I am building this monster gaming computer now. Well, it's meant for video editing for my video channel as well as playing video games. So, you know, I figured why not spend a lot of money on it anyways. Since I use it for YouTube and stuff, I'll just shoot the wad on it and build a really badass gaming computer / like video editing computer. So I'm looking at, if you guys pay attention to video game parts, I'm buying a Ryzen 9 3950X. So it's 16 core, 32 threads. So it should be able to hammer through any videos I make in like no time. But at the same time, I can do many different things at the same time, you know, and but still buy a good video card, lots of RAM memory and stuff like that. So, and of course it'll be all RGB, all light up crazy shit, because that's, you know, what I'm going to do. So I always like the colored light up computers. So I'll do that for this one as well. Nathan, what do you want, buddy?
Let's see my battery downstairs.
What? You can't charge it out here. There's no charges here. Nathan, you can't sit the door open like that. You got to move. You either go inside the house or that's it.
Look.
What? See, this is his iPad. I actually bought him a used iPad. He only has 6% battery left.
You.
Well, play as long as you can, buddy, okay? You going to play out here or you going to play inside?
Play out here.
All right, sit there, but don't open the door. Yeah, I had to buy him a used iPad off of eBay because he broke the last one on accident when he was a little baby. And then this one he's already cracked the screen on, but thankfully only paid like $140 for it. So $140, and you know, he gets to watch YouTube on it, kids YouTube and stuff like that on it. It's, for me, it's worth its weight in gold versus getting him a fancy expensive one that he would crack anyways. Nathan, shh, please. I want thunderstorms every day. I've had hundreds of lightning shots. Utah's weather is lame, dry. Yeah, no, we get heavy storms here in Florida, very heavy. Smart kiddo, man. Yeah, he stutters through his language a lot, like when he talks. So we don't know if there might be other problems that are lingering that are under the surface that we don't know about yet, or if it's just speech issues. I've been thought about. Sometimes they say that your brain works faster than your mouth can, especially for smarter people. Like sometimes I'll stumble over my words as well, but maybe he's just so far ahead that he can't get it all out with his mouth in time. So he gets really frustrated when you don't understand him. He will literally get all pissed off and he'll start crying or whatever, and he'll just go storm off if you don't understand what he's saying. Nathan, please be quiet. Thank you. I don't care. Any new Turtle Wax stuff you've been interested in? Brandon, I've gotten all the new Turtle Wax stuff there is. Some of the stuff I haven't tried, of their newer stuff, let's put it this way. I don't think I've made a true video review of this, but I have actually made it there's a bit of it on the one video, but this stuff is like the best damn crap I've tried ever for like easy spray on stuff. I haven't tried their ceramic polish and wax. I mean, I've tried the black version of it, and it does fine, but it doesn't, whatchamacallit, it doesn't, that didn't actually remove all the swirls like a true, like heavy. Nathan, please be quiet. I have used a lot of the ceramic 3-in-1 detailer they have. By the way, they beat Mcguire to the punch on the ceramic detailer, if you didn't know that. If you start looking and you start paying attention to Turtle Wax, you're going to start to see they're actually beating a lot of the big companies to the punch. With their Max Power Car Wash, they beat Mcguire's to the punch on that. They've destroyed Mcguire's on their spray wax or their spray detailer or whatever, ceramic detailer. The ceramic detailer from Mcguire's is just garbage. It's trash. Like it destroys it all day long. Keep a close eye on it. Obviously, you saw the review for this one. This is pretty good stuff. Again, only while the car's wet. If you're just gonna if you need a proper wax, get the green one. But if you just want to add a nice little quick layer to your car while it's still wet, anyways. That's what I normally do. I actually add that to the white car. Anytime I wash the white car, even though the paint is just literally flaking off on the hood, if you guys can see it in the day, it's terrible. What I normally do is when I wash it, I spray that yellow stuff all over the car, and then I dry the entire thing off, whatever's left, and it beads up. It definitely beads up every time it rains. It's just not really that great. The paint is garbage. My identical 3-year-old twins boys are sawing logs. Yeah, the problem is, tool guy, he stays up with me at night because he doesn't have to go to school in the morning, and I don't want to get up in the morning when I work at evenings at my job. So what'll happen is, for me, it's easier for me if he stays up with me, and then he sleeps in with me. How's that sound? So he's not up bouncing around at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, I'm only on hour like 3 or 4 of sleep, and I'm now having to suddenly get up. Like when he was a baby, it was a living nightmare because he'd go to bed with her, at like 10 o'clock at night, and they would sleep in his bedroom. That's the only way he would sleep is if he slept in bed with her. Literally, he would not sleep in his baby crib. If he woke up and he found himself in there, he would be screaming bloody murder for like an hour straight. So it wasn't like he was going to wear himself out. It would literally be an hour. He might get quiet, but he'll still be like, he would not stop. So we finally were like, dude, we can't take this anymore. We have got to take him out of there. So he never slept in his crib, but only a handful of times. He said he was just too scared. If I try and put him in the crib now, he will literally could start screaming. He's like, no, it's too scary. It's too scary. So, he just sleeps in a regular bed. Funny vehicle prices never go down, even with the car lot full of thousands of vehicles. I don't know. I think we're going to see a lot of changes here. I'm getting like ads now from like one of the dealers in Melbourne, Florida, which is like 40 minutes down the road that way. That now Toyota is doing for any essential worker, like a hospital worker, whatever they call them, or like fire department, that kind of thing. Toyota is now doing for those people 0%, 84 months, 7 years with no interest rate. My wife did, I think, 6 years no interest rate on the minivan. We didn't ask for it, but they were like, oh, that's the thing. If you get the 6 years, it's 0% interest because you guys have a great credit. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I always pay extra on it every month anyways, but that's about it. But it's pretty interesting. I really hope the stuttering goes away. I'm hoping that he's just damn like a genius, born genius, and that his mind is going 100 miles an hour, but his mouth can't keep up. I've heard that actually being a lot of problem with some people that um, the doctors will say that they're literally so damn smart that they can't process it fast enough out of their mouth, so they'll like stumble over their words. If the paint's crap on the white car, why not Swirl-O-Matic? Because I can wash it myself. That car, you gotta understand, the 1990s, that was technically a 1980s car. It was like the last year that 91 Prelude was made. They're so tiny compared to today's cars. Like Nathan, please be quiet. They're just so tiny that I can wash that car in like 5 or 10 minutes. It's so quick because it's so small. It literally feels like a go-kart when I drive that car. Because the safety is way different on it. So it's lighter, it's smaller, it's crazy. Turtle Wax Marshall, did you use your YouTube video or was it part of it? So I'll tell you how that went. So they used part of my videos. So what they did is they contacted me and they said, Chad, we'd like to use your video. Can we use it? And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Whatever you want to do. I don't really care. You use whatever you want. They're like, no. We have to have your written thing. So they said, we're going to send a contract thing. Nathan, please go inside. And they had to contract all this stuff in order to use it. The only thing that was used from just shut the door behind you, not all the way though. Just leave it a little bit open, just a little bit open though. That's good. Thank you. He was just being really noisy over there, and it was throwing me off a little bit. The only thing they used from Arizona was, so if you see at the end of the 60-second commercial, you're gonna see the top of a green car in there, and that's my voice. But they don't say it was me on the thing. It's me when I was testing it out the first single day, and I put that video up on Instagram and on Facebook. They copied that video and put that up. That was from Arizona. When you see some of the guys that are standing out there, and it looks like they're out in the thing, they're in Arizona as well when they're talking about it. But they weren't actually using the product. Like I was actually using that product there at the demo day, and that was on the Audi. If you go back to my Instagram, you'll see all those pictures. That's what the stuff they copied from. And then they had they wrote and they said, okay, you have to put what videos in it. I need you to put these title videos in the contract, and then you have to sign the contract and send it back to us. That way we can have rights to use it. And I was like, all right, whatever you want. And that's basically the way that went down. I'll never judge any parent's schedule. Every day my house is a war. That sucks, man. Glad we don't have huge snakes in Florida like Florida. Actually, yeah, the Everglades has a bunch of boa constrictors. They're actually letting you kill as many of those suckers as you want, because the thing with boas is they can have 20, 30, 40 eggs at a time. So if you don't kill them, they're literally ravaging the parts of the Everglades because they're so big that they're eating the indigenous wildlife. And the deers, anything, they're literally killing everything because those suckers are massive. This big old bird means pythons that they got so big that they just went out to the Everglades and just dumped them to let them go on their own. And then of course, they're multiplying, so they have big snake hunts down there in the Everglades all the time. And it's as much as you want to kill. If you can kill them, go for it. As bring as you can. So they'll have all kinds of contests and stuff down there. It's pretty wild. Dalton, another $1, man. What are you doing, baller? I love the Turtle Wax stuff. So easy. It is, Pat. It is. God, I try and tell people this all the time. It is nuts how easy the new stuff is from Turtle Wax. It's funny because Turtle Wax is coming out with this stuff before even Mcguire is hitting the market with it. So it's kind of like, Mcguire's, you better watch your back. I mean, you better damn well start watching your back, because Turtle Wax is coming hard. And I mean, look at it. It's on Facebook. It's on national TV now. And you're like, my God, are you serious? I mean, Turtle Wax is literally saying, I don't want to be known as Bottom Basement anymore. I want to change my image, and I'm going to spend money to change my image in the United States. Apparently overseas, they're still considered really a good quality brand. But in America and Canada, they're considered bottom basement stuff because their prices were beat down all the time. So now they have contracts with Walmart and every distributor saying that they can't sell them below a certain point anymore. I'll give you an example. Walmart, if the MSRP was $7.99, Walmart would push them all the way down to like $3.99. And there was no cap. If Walmart wanted to take a loss, Walmart could take a loss. It was whatever they wanted, which made them look like they were really cheap junk brands. Where they decided this new one, they followed Chemical Guy's rules. They actually mentioned Chemical Guys by name, Camel Guys, in every one of their places, they have a thing. You cannot sell it below this price. This is the MSRP. You can't sell it below this price. Take it or leave it. And that's what they did. And so now Turtle Wax and a lot of the other companies, I guess, are following suit and saying, look, you can't do this anymore. If we're putting it up for $14.99 MSRP, you can't go below like $10.99. That's it, final. You'll still get this percentage cut of it, and that's it. They had to explain it to us about how things actually worked. It was really cool, though. And but yeah, it's really funny how they're like literally just spending millions of dollars on TV ads, millions of dollars. I mean, I can only imagine they spent $300,000 or $400,000 to fly all of us all across the United States. They flew people from Europe over. They flew people over from Australia just to attend this unboxing announcement in Arizona and put us up in a hotel. You know, the back sticker on the back of the door in the hotel room shows how much it is per night if you wanted to extend it. It was $1,500 a night for that room. $1,500 a night. We were there for 3 nights. I can only imagine they probably spent $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 to fly all these people out there. It was wild how much they spent. I let snakes around the neighborhood. Around my house, if I've seen a few little black garden snakes, I let them live all the time. I would kill like anything that would be dangerous, like a rattlesnake, a copperhead, or a cottonmouth. I'd kill them. But the little black snakes and stuff, I let them go because I know what they're killing stuff in. Snake hunting. Yeah, my wife won't even go out of the house. Literally, she has not left the house to do anything all weekend. All she does is sit there on her phone and play Candy Crush for hours on end and just look at Facebook and watch 90 Day Fiancé. That's all she does every day. TLC, 90 Day Fiancé, Candy Crush, and look at Facebook. Does nothing else. That's all she does. Do you get our full donations? From what I understand, YouTube does a percentage, but I don't know how much it is. I think it's like 85% or whatever it is. It was in the original agreement, whatever the thing is, because essentially you're on YouTube's host, and if you want to, YouTube's giving you the option to be able to get donations, and if you do, then you get a portion of it. That's why a lot of these companies, people like went over to Twitch and stuff, because Twitch was like, it's a free for all over there on Twitch. And now some people have gone over to like Mixer, but Twitch is still king. Because what was happening is YouTube was like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, and you're demonetized and all this stuff. So like a lot of the big like video game people and streamers and stuff, they all just went over to Twitch and they said, screw you guys, I'm out. And they left. Now YouTube's having to backtrack and go, whoa. Well, come on back here, bro. No, come on back. Let's see if we can work something out. So now they're doing the donation things, and YouTube, they were the king, they can do whatever the hell they want. They're owned by Google. And so when Twitch came along, it's like, watch this. And of course, Amazon now owns Twitch. So it's like, oh God. So it's crazy. I've basically paid for the thing. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, I will go get it. Don't get me wrong, because it'll look really good on my wife's minivan. Because like the little back deck where the bumper is, it has that little plastic guard, for if you're putting stuff in the back. That's kind of all faded out now. So it'll look really good to see if I can test on that. And then later on down the road, we'll know longevity, because obviously it's an outside car. Just bought a used 2008 Acura TL. What are your thoughts on that model? If it's the model that I'm thinking of, the ones that some of them came with, like the Type S, loved them. Love that design. That was the last Acura I liked. Acura has fallen so far from the glory days of the 90s. In the 90s, if you were a 90s kid, Acura won awards left and right. They couldn't be stopped. They were luxury brand of the year, luxury this, luxury that. Like your Acura Legends are gorgeous. They're still gorgeous when you see them. They're going up in price. Integras, huge. Everybody had Integras. Obviously, you had the GSRs, you had the Type Rs. They were the cars that the kids aspired to in the 90s that had a little bit more money. If you could afford a little bit more money than the Civic, you got the Integra. That was just the way it was. Then you had, of course, the Acura Vigor. You had the Acura TL that came out later. It was that was an amazing luxury brand. The last 20 years, Acura basically sucks. I don't like them at all. I think they're all ugly. I think Acura is doing better recently, but they really screwed up with the NSX. They thought they were going to push some other garbage hybrid, and it kind of failed. But if I remember right, if there's the right body that came with the Type S model, that was the last sexy Acura, period. I haven't liked any other Acura since. Acura RLs are terrible. The TLs were horrific looking, big bulk of cars. The what is it? The RLs are bad. The RSX is bad. The MDX, all that RDX, all those things are just ugly, ugly eyesores. And you don't ever see them on the road anymore. As a matter of fact, Acura barely sells anything. They said the Civic alone, just the Honda Civic alone, sells more units than all of Acura's lineup combined. It just shows you how far Acura has fallen. As a matter of fact, there has been many speculations that saying that Acura should just close their door in the United States. There's no need for them here in America. Their sales are horrific. Nobody's buying them. They're not making cars that people want at all anymore. So why is Acura still even around? Is Acura going to be around in another 10 years? Because why? You know, I mean, Lexus is still doing really strong, but Acura is just completely fallen off. Same with Infiniti. Infiniti is completely crashing. They don't make anything. When we went out to Arizona, we did a rental vehicle. We were there. We got the Infiniti, what was it, the QX60, I think it is, whatever it was. That car is a luxury car, am I right? The Infiniti SUV. It didn't even have navigation in it. Are you telling me a $50,000 or $60,000 SUV doesn't come with navigation standard? Like, what in the hell? They said, oh, that's an option. At 50 or 60 grand, it better not be a damn option. It better be included. That is horrible. Horrible. It was a fine vehicle, but it's obviously the Pathfinder, but still, that should have came with navigation built in. Thankfully, we have our phones, so it worked out great when we needed to get around. But we were just completely blown away. Completely blown away. Infiniti is another one that I think in the next 10, 15 years, if they don't get their act together, they're going to disappear. I think Acura will be first unless they change something. Infiniti will be right behind them, and Lexus will still be around because Lexus still does fine. Old people love Lexuses. We all know that. Actual wax, not in liquid form. Now, how do you mean that? Because I could take it like this. You could tell me, well, this is liquid form. Obviously, we can hear it, correct? So correct, that's liquid form. But this is Mcguire's new ceramic wax that you have to use an applicator pad for. Yes, it is a liquid, but it's not a spray-on wax, okay? This is actually like literally you have to whip out either an applicator pad or your DA polisher and put this on. So I did use this on the front of the van. I used it over here and here so far. Just do a little bit of testing on the side because I was bored. And it applies very easy, removes super simple. But again, would you consider that a liquid version or not? Or are you talking about you just want to go straight like old school, like a paste wax? I mean, that's what I would be on. What's going on, Wade Buckley? How you doing? From Aussie down under. My wife, by the way, was just talking about Australia. She was like, why is it that the kids' TV show, Bluey, which is an Australia thing, they don't have thicker accents? Because like, what is it called? What's the British one called? There's a British cartoon show my son watches, and they have really thick, like Hey Dougie or one of the, I forgot which one it is. Peppa Pig, very heavy British accents. But Bluey, being an Australian TV show for kids, doesn't have it. Barely any Australian accent. It's like they found like the most like cut basic Australian you can get. Mcguire's falling off the wagon. I don't know if they're falling off. I just think that they've been on the high end too long that they didn't think they have any competition to really worry about. So they just put out just keeping the new products going, but they didn't have to try that hard because they got nobody going for them. You know what I mean? No competition. No, there's nothing wrong with Mcguire's. Don't get me wrong now. Mcguire's is still a good products. I've never had any issues with only that blue bottle like spray ceramic wax, absolute trash. Didn't last me more than a month. Thoughts on the 2020 Nismo 370Z? No. Bug in face. Don't buy it. Don't buy any new Z right now. Here's why. Nissan already says they are bringing the new Z out this fall/winter. So you literally have 6 months left to wait. You can wait 6 more months and see what the new Z is going to look like because I think you might enjoy that better. However, let's say you don't. Then you can go buy a used Z, not a new Z. Go buy a used Z Nismo for $5,000, $10,000 less. That only has maybe 10,000, 20,000 miles on it, and you will save a metric ton of money. And if you want to put mods on it, you've got all that extra money to play with. Okay, when I owned a 370Z, I bought it used. It was, let's see, I bought it in 2013. It was a 2009, so it's 4 years old. I ended up selling it in 2017. Is that right? Yeah, I think, no, brain fart here. 2017, I sold it in 2017 to buy the GTR. And then I paid the GTR off last November. So I paid it off in less than 3 years. So, because I was making retarded amounts of payments on it, retarded payments. Like some months I paid $2,000 a month on the GTR. That was before I did flight school, so I had extra money. Flight school sucked up a lot of my money. I would tell you right now, don't buy anything. If you're serious about a Z, wait until Nissan releases the Z, or at least you can see it at the auto show that's coming up this fall when they're going to release the thing, to see if you'd be interested. And if not, go find a used Nismo on the market. You could probably get it for $30,000 all day long, $32,000. Do not buy a new Nismo right now. How's the trim, the ceramic spray, the trim coating? I think it's meant to actually penetrate the plastics and really like to stay in there and bond with the plastics. I think that's generally all it's going to be done different about it. All the computer programs and regulations are killing the car slowly, missing the engineer where he used to use pencils. You can still buy an old car. It's like me buying an old plane. You know, the planes that I'm looking at buying are from the 60s and 70s. They were definitely not new. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at, I really like the Moonies. A Moonie is like a sports car. Look, somebody, like a couple of you guys, if you got, open up another window, look up a Moonie airplane, Mooney. They have, they're interesting because the tail fin on the back, the tail is cantered forward like this. So it looks super aggressive, super sexy. It's really low. It's not like really high. It's a low wing plane. So it doesn't have like, it's not like a Cessna where the wing's above your head. It's below you. The thing turns and burns. It is fast. I flew one to get my complex airplane rating. I flew it 2 days in a row. That bitch turns on a dime. It's direct rod. So as soon as you turn it, everything turns instantly. There's no like playing or anything. It's like you barely move it, the plane goes gone. It's literally like a sport. It's the sports car of the skies. They're gorgeous. But that plane was developed in the 1950s. Now, it had many new adaptations. They updated it and stuff, but the original Mooney was designed in the 50s. And they still, up until last year, they still made Moonies. Now, did they generally look the same? Yes. They're longer, but that's about it. I'm down to 5% battery, by the way, guys, so I'm not going to be able to hang out there too much longer. But that's what I'm looking at, and I don't have a problem with it not having all the bells and fancy whistles, the newer stuff. I'm okay with that. Grizz Garage 3-in-1 leather spray smells good. All right. Great on the furniture. Have some microfiber towels. Very nice. 70 to 81 Camaro, first design vehicle. Went down fast from there. 2020 car's going to be super rare. The guys who bought in 2020 are instant millionaires. Ha, I don't think so. You know me, I've got the Type R Civic. I'm already seeing a bunch of guys go out and buy the new Type Rs because the 2020 Type R, they got rid of the blue like I have, and they have what they call the Boost Blue, which is like that. See the blue in the back? That's the color they put on the new Civic Type R. They got rid of the blue like I have, the Aegean Blue Pearl, and put that on there, and they call it Boost Blue. So it's like a really big pop. It's like the Ford Focus RS or the Toyota Blues. So the really bright blue that everybody sees, that's what they have. And so people are buying those up right now. In this economy, I sure as hell would not be buying any car right now. Not if your job could be in jeopardy. Are you going to have your job tomorrow? And is my hours going to be cut? Can I make the payments on this thing? I would not buy anything right now in this economy. And that's what scares me about all this drama going on. People are like, well, it saves a life. Well, then what happens when people are in despair? And then, you know, suicide rates go up and all kinds of stuff because they can't work and they can't get out of their house. They can't interact with people. That's when it gets, you know, when these people, all these companies are like, you know what, we gave you a month or we gave you 2 months to slide on your house payment. Not happening anymore, homeboy. Pay up or we're gonna evict you. That's when you're gonna see people get really shit break scared. They're gonna be going nuts, and that's when you need to be worried about it because then they're gonna do whatever they can to make their bills. And some people will revert to theft and stealing and stuff like that, you know, because their family, they'll say, I got to take care of my family or whatever. And that's when it's going to get scary. But there will be a time that these companies will not be able to say, hey, we can forgive you this month, but you can pay it next month or the month after. They're going to eventually say, hey, you have to make a payment. And if they can't make the payment, what's going to happen then? They're going to get evicted or whatever. getting 90s Integra Type R. I remember almost getting one of those back in 2000. I ended up getting a Honda Accord Coupe instead. It was a stupid move, but I really wanted leather and all the power, fancy stuff, and the Integra Type R's never had all that. And that was my deciding factor on that. Old school paste wax. Over the counter, something like if Turtle Wax Ice is still around, if you can get that, that lasts me easy 5 to 6 months. Same with Mcguire's Ultimate Paste Wax, 5 to 6 months. Easy to get over the counter. If you want to try buying online, go to autoweeks.com, that's the big company, and look up Pinnacle Sovereign Paste Wax. It's the Carnauba. It's a pure white Carnauba wax. I've bought a couple balls of them, little things of them, because they're so damn good. You just apply it and you wipe it right back off. You do not let it haze up, nothing. You just put it on the paint, immediately wipe it back off. I have never ran into a wax that's that stinking good. You just use a little bit, like just a little bit of wax on there. Apply it really lightly to the paint, wipe it right back off. It's gorgeous. On like a nice colored car, you can't beat it. It's the best. It's expensive though, so be ready for that. And AU, the ceramic stuff is Turtle Wax Mcguire CMX is really expensive. As a beginner in detailing business, mid 30s, 60s. Yeah, I have some new finish stuff. That's a lot of money. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I know you have like Bowden's Own or whatever is the Australian brand over there, but that sucks, man. If you could, I don't understand why it costs so much. I don't know if it's the shipping that makes it cost so much in Australia or what. Now, I know that the Australian dollar is not worth as much as the American dollar, so that might hurt you as well. I know like the pay rate scale is much higher in Australia compared to what we think of as in America as a minimum wage. But then again, everything costs way more. Like saying the same thing in Canada. Well, we make a lot more. Well, you jackasses, your house costs 5 times more than mine does. Like we have a 3,600 and something square foot house, right? We paid $330,000 US for it back in 2012. It's worth like 420 now, right? We see these houses on like House Hunters and all this crap in Canada, and a house ours would be like $1.5 million. It would be like, oh my God. Oh, but we get paid so much more than you. We'll have fun paying $1.5 million from the same house. What, buddy? Don't shut it all the way. Just leave it a little bit cracked, okay? My son's back out here. By the way, my phone is almost dead. I'm down to 3%. So in case it dies, which it did last week, I apologize. But I'm so thankful that all you guys did get to come by here. So if it does die on you in a second here, you know why, all right? But just remember that I'm very thankful for every one of you guys and why I didn't get videos out this week, because it was raining and raining and raining, which we definitely need in Florida. The lakes are so low right now. And the grass is like brown, so it's like, oops, we need some rain anyways. Do you prefer using the suede blocks? So a true ceramic coat, I use the suede blocks. For one of these ceramic sprays, it's more of a sealant. I just use a microfiber towel. Would you suggest a cheaper, go with a more expensive? See if you can get some companies online that'll ship to you in Australia and that you could get for less than these prices. Because if you can get something like a Turtle Wax stuff or like one of these Mother CMX, I think you'd be really and genuinely surprised, and I think you'd like it.
Some bugs aren't moving, the big ones.
It's okay.
Only one.
Only one bug?
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. He'll move when he wants to. He sees the bugs in here. The bugs, are all attracted to all these big lights up here. They're like all up on the wall right now and then flying in front of me and stuff because they're all attracted to the lights. In Ohio, man, you can only wax twice a year. Mcguire's keeps the cars looking good. They sit outside all year long. True, you got comfortable. Always great points. No. I like the way they. I like Mcguire's. I've never had an issue with them. I've only had an issue with one or two of their products. Like that spray wax they have, the ceramic spray wax, it was just complete garbage. It couldn't last here in Florida. What do you want? Nothing? All right, scoot back so I can go look over here, please. Scoot back. Thank you, sir. Like this product. This junk did not last me more than a month here in Florida. It couldn't last. And it was, when this first came out, I think this was stupid money. It was almost $20 for this. It just didn't last. It's just, there's so many better products out there that you can go with. But that was probably my biggest disappointment with all Mcguire's products, is that I have never had that bad of an experience before, ever, from any of their products. So that's it is. But then again, I keep it real with you guys. I spend my own money. Mcguire's has never called me. Mcguire's has never talked to me on the phone or emailed me. And I was shocked about, I'm like, wow, dude, Mcguire's, they're slipping hard, man. Late 60s and 70s was the best engineering. Now everything was designed by Windows. It's the way it's going, man. Technology. Glass security system is kind of get crazy. You have Xfinity Home. Yeah, we have the outdoor cameras and we have the indoor cameras as well, and the alarm system like everybody else does. You know, ADT alarms on our house. How long did the new finish shine last you? I think it's lasted me like 5 or 6 months, if I remember right. It's about average with a lot of the other stuff. Can't print money fast enough for the population when cost of everything is skyrocketing. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. They're overprinting the currency, which is going to cause inflation. You can't keep paying for everybody. Am I right? You can't. The United States cannot carry the entire country on its back. Americans have to work. Americans have to earn their own money and they have to invest their own money. You can't just keep getting free handouts from the government. The minute that happens, the government will collapse. Plain and simple. They can't afford it. Or they'll just keep printing money, like he said, and then you start getting into times like when Germany, right after World War I, had the Weimar Republic, and they were just printing and printing and printing to pay off all their war debts. And to the Allies, they were just printing and printing and saying, here's all your bills, you paid it all. But now their money was worthless because they printed so much that the inflation went up like 1,000% or something wild. It's crazy. Yeah, it's almost bedtime because my phone is almost dead. It's at 2%, so more than likely it's going to die any second here. So just giving you guys a heads up, man. So what are you doing?
I'm just going up.
I'm just going up. Hey, you're cock blocking me right now, bro. Look.
I can't see it.
Of course not. You're not supposed to see it.
Yes.
This is what I deal with, guys. This is what I deal with. Crazy. See, can you see yourself now?
Yes.
But you're too close to it. That's why. See? All right. Climb down a little bit so I can finish talking. Climb down. He's on the ladder right now. That's what's going on. He's climbing up the ladder. See, some parents are probably like, don't let him climb the ladder. I'm like, what's on the ladder?
On your red car.
There's a lot of bugs probably on the car. Cool. Do you ever have a product update on the new finish? I understand that. Yeah, my son's pretty cool, but he gets on your nerves like everybody else does, but that's just the way it goes. He's really hype. He gets really hyper and stuff. And then you're like, dude, calm down and stuff like that. Oh, sorry. Had to get the can out of the way. So, you know what? Because I'm worried about it dying on you guys like I did last Sunday, I don't want to be rude to you guys because I love you guys so much. And I wanted to spend a couple hours with you guys tonight. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now because I'm so scared it's going to die any second now. That I want to say goodnight. If I can get something out this week, maybe tomorrow, I'll record it and I'll just put it out midweek to make up for the last 2 weekends of not being able to do anything because it's just been raining every week and tomorrow's supposed to be blue sky, so we'll see what happens. I will try and do that and then we'll go from there. But I wanted to thank you guys so much for spending some time with me this fine evening here. It'll probably be next Sunday as always. You know me. You don't even have to write me and you know me. And then we'll go from there. And yeah, we'll have to chat again next week. It's usually in the evenings. This is when I do it. Some evening. Shh, I know. And we'll just hang out then. And again, if I can get out a video this week, I'll just put it out whenever I can get it out. Whether it's Tuesday it comes up, Wednesday it comes up, I will try my best to get something out. I don't know what I'll put out yet, but I'm going to make it happen for you guys. So without ado, I hope you enjoyed that you're hanging out with me. It's been a lot of fun. You could be with a lot bigger YouTubers out there. There's a lot of great ones out there, but you spend your time with me, and that means a lot to me. So thanks so much for being a part of this channel. It means more than I can ever tell you. Thanks again. I'll see you guys at the very next live stream. Later, y'all.